Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Friday, and it is April 20th, 2018. This is the Stunthangar Hangout. I'm Rusty from Stunthangar, just a member, and Sparky's the one behind the scenes that does all of this. And so I've posted the links, and if you go to the At the Bench thread, you will be able to click into the YouTube channel and watch on that page and use the text box, or you can click in here with me and use your camera and microphone. Looks like we got one viewer already, so welcome. My phone's dinging. It seems like if it only dings once a day on show day, it's somebody texting me about how to get in. So let's see who our mystery guest is tonight. If I can get the phone to take my password. There we go. And no, that's just a YouTube notification. I guess that's what it is anyway. So we got 3 viewers on YouTube. Thank you guys for coming. And be sure and type something in the chat box if you got anything to say, if you got a suggestion to make or a question to ask or a correction to make. That'll be fine too. And we'll be here for the next 2 or 3 hours and talking about mostly aeromodeling or whatever it is you like to do in your workshop with tools and or at the drag strip or anything. Hey, Bob Bishop, how you doing, Bob? That's our first YouTube poster. I'll give him an official typed welcome. There you go. Hi, Bob. All right. I even spelled it right this time. Last time I said hooey Bob. But anyway, Bob's in here with us, one of our valued regular customers. And if you are watching from the YouTube page, if you feel so inclined, please click the super chat $sign at the bottom and give us a little walking around change to keep us in business here. And we'll do everything we can to entertain you. And this is another quick week. Seems like, Fridays always come so fast. I think I comment on that just about every time. But then Mondays come pretty fast too. And Bob says he's working as usual. Ugh. Dang, Bob, you work too much, don't you? And here comes Jamie. Hey, Jamie.
Hey.
My first video visitor. What's up?
Same old thing.
Oh, I hear baby crying in the background.
Yep, just typical female.
If you have to go change any diapers or feed the baby, let us know and we'll hold your place.
Oh no, I'm good.
So how's the twister looking?
Honestly, I have not worked on it since Monday, really, that I could think of. Let's see, what was I doing? I was doing the rudder. That's what I was doing.
That's right, yeah. Wondering whether to offset it or put it on straight on Stunthangar, I remember reading.
Yeah, I'm going to put it on straight. That's what, I mean, everybody.
That's what I did. In fact, I tapered my whole fuselage back and set the rudder on it, and the fuselage and the rudder just blend in as one piece. You can't tell any difference except right at the very lead edge of what I guess you'd call the vertical stab. It's a little bit of fuselage hanging out under it, but it's pretty well fared in.
Mm-hmm.
I keep going out to the shop and picking it up and doing a little sanding and finding little things that need doing. Well, this is the Cardinal I'm talking about, but same difference.
Yeah.
I never have gotten around to getting the super fill on it, but I don't think there's one dang more thing I can sand without making any difference. And make any difference at all. So this weekend I'm gonna get out there and get the super fill and all the little dings, dents, and crevices, and get this thing ready for some clear dope and paper. So yeah, I'm happy with it so far. Not too many boogers on it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to do the same thing on mine because it seems like no matter where I set it on my damn table here, I always get a little ding in it somewhere, no matter what. You know,
You do realize that if you put a fingernail into the balsa or little dings like that, you can just take a drop of water on your fingertip and touch it right over that, and those things will swell up and go away completely.
oh shit! I need to get a 5-gallon bucket then.
Yeah, well, I keep a spray bottle of emergency eye wash on the table, and so I just spritz the tip of my finger and touch any little tiny dents and dings. And you know, gouges, scratches, you can't help, but you might be able to make them better. But the dings will usually swell right back out and not come back. Hey, Sparky, how are you tonight?
I'm good. Thought I'd check in. I've been sick.
Really? I thought I was going to have to cancel the show. I felt so bad today, all day long, but I finally got some food in me and feel decent now. What are you sick with? Please don't tell me you got the flu.
No, last night I had a TV dinner that did not set well with me. I woke up in the middle of the night with stomach cramps. And
yeah, that's the worst kind of way to be sick, I think. Hopefully it wears off. You'll be back to normal tomorrow. But it wears you out, makes you tired when you get that green death is what I call it. That disease is called a green death.
I worked today, but it was tough to last all day.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was,
well, it's
I was
Friday
thinking
night
about
now.
calling in, but
It's Friday night now. You can relax, and I hope you feel a whole lot better tomorrow.
I had a macaroni and cheese. Is all I can't eat nothing.
Yeah. A lot of times the best thing to eat is the brat diet. Bananas, rice, applesauce, and toast is what you give kids when they've got the green death. And it works just as well for adults, too. All that stuff's pretty benign, easy to digest. But anyway, your orange Stunthangar shirt looks good there. I like that. I like that shirt.
Yeah, pretty good.
I
Going flying tomorrow for the first time in 6 months.
you got some people to go fly with?
Oh yeah.
Good. What you gonna take out and fly? You gonna fly a Voodoo?
Oh yeah.
Got a camera? You gonna put a camera on it? I know you got a camera.
Yeah, I put no camera on it.
Oh, come
That's
on.
why he's sick. He's nervous as shit trying to thinking about
all this. After all this emotional investment we've got in those Voodoos, you owe us one flight. You can do the maiden first, and then you know, maybe get one of your middling flights. Once you know you can fly it, you get the camera on it.
I don't know.
I'll find out who you're flying with. I'm gonna call them up and get them to take their camera out there and get you.
Yeah. I'll tell you, John Jordan and Jerry Hop.
Everybody's got a telephone camera these days. I tell you what, some of those telephone cameras make you look like a professional photographer compared to how it used to be back in the old film days, especially. Me and Jamie were just discussing our respective models that are slowly moving along. Mine's moving more slowly than Jamie's is. At least he's got something to post on the forum about. Oh, I know. I want to ask you. You know, I had told you some time back I was going to be using superfill on the fuselage, and I hadn't gotten around to it because I keep finding things that need sanding and tweaking a little bit. But when I do put superfill on it and fill in a little gaps between where wood's glued together and any dings, should I cart it off even with the flat surface, or should I leave a little bit of a rise on it for sanding down? Does it? I didn't know if it would shrink when it dried at all.
It does not shrink.
Does not. Okay. Is there a best time wise? Is there a sanding window where it's easiest to sand between putting it on and when it's completely cured?
When it's completely cured, it's easiest to sand.
Okay, so I'll give it at least 24 hours then.
Well, I usually let it dry about 6 to 8 hours, and it's sandable.
Yeah, depends on the temperature too, probably, but it's going to be in the 70s this weekend, I think. So, yeah, okay. Well, hopefully, I'll have something to show on Monday night about that. And Ron Hass is in here with us. Hey, Ron, how are you doing tonight?
I got my ring bat.
Oh boy, let me click him up. There it is. It's looking nice and neat as always.
Yeah, I'm going to finish this one a little different. Monocoat the wings, paint the fuselage.
Yeah, that's Rusty style. That's how I do them. Saves a lot of time, especially for a plane like that that's just going to be a fun flyer.
I could probably monocoat the fuselage.
Is that all the kit wood there, or did you cut that wood out yourself?
No, this is not a kit. This is
It's not.
scratch built. And Terry sent me them eggs. He sent me the 4-ounce eggs, and I had a couple of those, but I'm going to be using a 6-ounce egg in it.
Is that a 1/4-inch stabilizer there? That looks pretty thick.
Yeah.
That's probably thicker than you would have gotten in a kit, isn't it?
Yeah. Kit is 3/16.
Yeah.
Got my bell crank in. My tip sanded.
What kind of hinges are you going to use on it?
Think about, just some Dubro hinges, whatever.
Yeah. It looks good.
I'm 1 day away from finishing it.
Looks neat enough for some of that clear monocoat you got.
No.
You're not going to use that blue stuff? That blue clear?
No. Probably going to end up giving you my roll of blue at Joan All.
Okay. Yeah, I won't be buying it before then, so that's cool. Appreciate it. I'll throw a unopened roll in the car that I've got that I don't like, and maybe if you like it, we'll call it a trade.
Whatever.
Russ, what size tank you got on your twister?
I got silver, and I got black, and I got checkerboard.
What'd you say, Jamie? Did you ask him what kind of tank he had?
No, what kind of tank you run on your twister?
Oh, I have a Brodak, kind of not really a coffin shape, but it's not a wedge either. It's I think it's 1 inch tall. It's 4.5 inches long, and it's got flat parallel top, and then at the end of it, it bends over into a wedge, and it's uniflow. And all of the tubes are at the outside edge so that it doesn't get involved with the recess that it sits back in. But you don't have you're not going to have recesses on your outboard side, are you? Are you putting a tripler on the outboard side?
No. I'm just sticking with doublers.
Yeah. So, but now that tank has to be lipping full for my FP40 to finish.
And what size is it?
It's I can't remember. It's 4 or 4.5. I think it's 4.5.
Because I got off of RSM the other day a 5 1/4 ounce tank, and it's the snub nose that I got. Well, shit, there we go. Just drop it and bang it around.
See, that's let me click on it. That looks like, yeah, okay. That's about like my tank, except it looks a little taller from your thumb to your fingertips direction.
Yeah, but I mean, I looked at it, and I got plenty because I'm going to put make it adjustable, and I got plenty of room from the motor to the.
Yeah, you're good. That's about how mine fits too.
I'm just going to put the little inserts and then the little brackets on the top to adjust it up and down.
Yeah.
I got my Tower 40 in today off of eBay, my $20 spectacular engine here. And somebody had already changed out the bolts on the head and on the back plate for 440. Already has the Venturi, and the piston and the liner looks new.
Good.
And it's got a good pop to it. Good little pop. But I think it was ran as a combat engine because it came on them brackets that you normally see
on combat planes. Yeah.
And with this needle valve run to it as well.
Yeah. That looks like it probably came off a combat plane. You're right.
But it also had a little Super Tiger needle valve on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to call it a Super Tiger needle valve because that's what I see them on.
That's the Super Tiger style anyway.
Yeah, but I'm probably going to see about getting a new one that's a little longer. Although it probably, not a bad idea to have one that short. It's just my big old hands, fiddling around with that thing right there is just more of a comfort.
Even if you get a long one, you can always chop it off and either bend it or put a wheel collar or something on top that you can get a grip on.
Yeah, because I don't think I had drilled out my for my motor for the motor Monday. I think I did that Tuesday, to be honest with you. I just grabbed my FP, my 40 FP that I got, centered it. I even did the line with the wing.
Yeah. Keep
it in line. Did on the back side, whatever. And bolts right up to it, right? The same holes. Great stuff.
Yeah, on my Cardinal, the thrust line and the incidence line are in two different places. So I had to draw two lines on mine.
Yeah, I just followed the line on the plans. It just goes from the tail, the thrust line shows it right here from the tail all the way up to the front of the nose.
The thrust line and the incidence line are on the same line, so that's convenient.
Yeah. So what I did was I just laid the fuselage down on the drawings, and I just matched the cutout for the rib on the drawings instead of trying to match the fuselage itself, and just marked it right there on the inside of the fuselage, and then just squared it off from there. So yeah, it's coming slowly. It's been a rough week, so I didn't really get much. When I got home, put on TV and fell asleep. It's been a wild week. But we're going to fly tomorrow, so it's.
What you gonna take out to fly tomorrow?
The Ringmaster and this Mentor. I need to going to El Dorado in a week after next, so I need to get some more flights in. I need to fly some more. I only flown like 5 flights since December. I need to get some more practice.
Yeah, I've only flown
5 more flights than I've got in 6 months.
Uh-huh.
That's 5 more flights than I have in 6 months.
Yeah, but you could probably still walk out there and fly circles around me right now, though.
Yeah, but you don't forget. It's like riding a bicycle in the air.
And what I'm going to prep for, because we're supposed to have like anywhere from 8 to 11 mile-an-hour winds tomorrow. And last time I was in El Dorado, the wind was like 15, if not more, or at least felt like it. It was rough to fly the Ringmaster in. Yeah,
Ringmaster's kind of small for winds like that.
Yeah, because the first flight, I crashed on the first flight doing the overhead when the wind just pushed the plane down into the ground. Trying that first go around with it, it wouldn't come back up. It just kept going.
Oh man!
And then after I repaired it, I flew it again. But all we did was just leaned it out a little bit to get a little more speed out of her, and then go wide with overheads. Go wide with it. Go all the way back.
Yeah, just be careful and not do any quick turns that bleed your energy off, and it'll punch on through.
I tell you what, it sure was fun. But more or less just to get with the wind blowing, just to get back into the swing of it.
Yeah.
And then after I get enough flights on the Ringmaster, I'm gonna fly this Mentor around, do some work on some other pattern maneuvers, some outside squares or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my Twister to Huntersville, and maybe I will, or maybe I won't fly it. Just depends on how I feel. If I can get a practice flight in up on the grass field on Saturday, then maybe I'll enter and fly at least one round on Sunday. But I haven't flown a pattern since October.
Cool.
I cut it short, guys, but I gotta lay down. I'm not feeling real great.
Okay, Sparky. Hope you feel better after a good night's sleep.
All right. See you later.
All right, take it easy, bro.
You know, we got Bob Bishop and Ron Hass watching us on YouTube, and we got 7 other guys now. Got 9 total on YouTube watching us. So that's good. Maybe some more of our video friends will drop in on us. Yeah, like I was saying, I felt terrible all day, but I believe I'm all right now. I just needed some nutrition. So I can probably hang till midnight as usual.
Oh, man.
So what do you use? You know, I was talking about Superfill a minute ago. What do you usually use for your fillets and your dings and joints?
I actually, like you, finally got some Superfill.
Ah, good.
I've never done it.
Yeah.
I've never done fillets or nothing, so I figured if I'm going to do it, just soon go with the good stuff.
If you turn those bottles over and look inside of them, do you have little pockets of fluid?
Yeah, like it looks like little tiny like pinholes.
Little pockets of fluid that have separated out, kind of brownish looking. I don't remember if it's in the resin or the hardener.
It's like
that, except yours has got more than mine does. I guess we should stir it up before using it, huh?
Yeah, probably.
It'd take a lot of stirring to get that evenly mixed, and it might not make that much difference anyway.
What's bad is that when you buy it from Brodag, they tape the shit together.
Yeah, and then you rip the label apart.
Yeah, and so I don't know. Thankfully, the actual Superfill bottle, you know, has the directions to prep and all that.
Yeah, they didn't get ripped up, and the other bottle doesn't have anything useful written on it. That's what I hope to do tomorrow if I don't get shanghaied. Entirely possible.
I mean, I could glue my rudder on now. I'm debating. It's probably in good standard.
I think put the wing on first, and then you've got a reference that you can eyeball when you put the rudder on.
Yeah, but I mean, like, instead of just gluing it like just flat on, do I want to?
Oh, the rudder. I'm sorry, I was thinking stabilizer, but yeah, I've got mine on the blank fuselage already, so no need to put that.
Okay, I don't know whether to like.
Be careful so you don't bust it off. You know, working around in the shop with it.
Yeah, like I don't know whether like to cut like a little trench in there to seat it in, or just to glue it flat on the top. I think flat on the top.
Flat on the top, so if it does hit the ground, it breaks off clean. You trench it in there, it's going to bust wood when it comes loose first time you land upside down. I like to make them kind of like a sacrificial joint, because it doesn't take it but a minute to glue it back on if it just popped off clean, which is what it'll do, just sitting flat on there. That's my method anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me, because I could glue it on and then just slide in the elevator and then do all the assembly for that, the hinges and whatnot. But I still need to put the hinges on the elevator. And I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't even slightly even remotely consider having to do another stupid little thing for the elevator, like you got to do for the flaps.
Yeah.
Grill and all the other stuff. And the thing I don't like about this at all, what I really do not like, is that, if I could find it, the thickness of this is nearly the thickness of this, you know. So it makes me.
You got to be real careful not to knock that thin little edge off of the under end or top side. I've had the same thoughts when I built mine, but you don't want to go with the thinner wire either.
No, I was thinking about going with a thicker elevator, because this is that looks like 3/16, or it might be 1/4 inch.
I think mine's 3/16, but I'd have to measure it. I don't really remember.
Let's see. Yeah, 3/16.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to the hobby shop tomorrow after I fly. I almost feel like buying a 1/4 inch sheet and cutting out a new elevator, just so I have enough meat in there, you know, to where this don't bust through.
Yeah.
It's already bad enough with I got the flaps got them done. But I mean, if you don't go perfectly, I'm using a Dremel to drill down in there. You don't go perfectly straight, you know, you'll veer. But I mean, you could, you know, hold your hand on the side of it. You can feel whenever you're getting closer to one side to another side.
Yeah.
And, you know, I already know I'm going to epoxy it. And what else? Also, I'm probably going to get some, it's probably, I don't know if it's going to be smart, not a resin, you know, fiberglass cloth, just a little fiberglass cloth to go around the horn, you know, to go around this part right here.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I didn't do that on mine, but
you know, so like when it's in there, just wrap it just to go around it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I have it drilled and it's funky as shit. And I mean, it's in there, it's recessed, but honestly, I was a little too close on one side.
Ooh, yeah.
So
I've done that on. I don't think I did it on the twister, but I have had it come through a little like that before. But usually, now is that. And where is it? Let me see where it came through again, because you're going to put some 64th or 32nd ply on top of that.
You know, I was just exactly thinking that, getting some 1/64 light ply.
Yeah, because you need
just put it just a little bit coming, not to go into full length, just a little bit, and then
you do need a pad, top and bottom right there of 64th ply, or even 32nd. You know, I'd go with 32nd for that. I think that's what mine is. And just
yeah, hold on, Rusty.
Okay.
There's no Wi-Fi, and the passwords to Wi-Fi at my house is Red Bull 16.
Yeah, I mean that's at your house though. Over here though, it's different. Let's see. There is Wi-Fi. Hey Rusty, give me a few minutes.
Okay.
I need to fix this tablet for her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's just me and you YouTubers. Oh, George. Hey, I sent you an email a few minutes before the meeting. I mean, before the Hangout. And I realized I had forgotten to send you, with my message the other day, your new password. So check your email, George, and your new password should be in there. I would tell you what it is, but that'd be kind of dumb. And then you can change it to whatever you want it, but get logged in first. And yeah, I even asked you if you'd had success logging in another email, and then I realized tonight I never did give you your dadgum password. So Sparky made a new one for you. And when you joined, did you join back in this past January? And did you spell your name with a G, George with a G? Because I looked that up, and I'm pretty sure that that was you that I found in your profile when I did a member search. So yeah, look into that. We'd like to have you on live again. I know you used to come in. Seems like you used to come in live. As soon as Jamie gets back, we're going to continue discussing the little breakthrough in his stabilizer, or his elevator stabilizer.
That's actually the flap.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, you know what? A lot of times when I mix epoxy up to glue that stuff together, if I've got a breakthrough like that, I'll put a little pile of sawdust on the card that I'm mixing the epoxy on, and when I get ready to put the plywood plank on it, then I pack that gouge with a little epoxy mixed with sawdust, and that will fix it better than it would. It'll be stronger than it would have been otherwise, I think. So that's all you need to do is go ahead and put her together, and after it sets, or even before, you can put a little sawdust pack with it into the epoxy there, whether you do it at the same time you put the doublers on it or not, the plywood doublers.
Yeah, because it was bad. It's just the side that it's on is the top side.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but it won't. Yeah, it won't even show though, and I think it'll be fine that way. Yeah. Yeah, but before you put your little plywood doublers on it, take your belt sander and give it a little wide, sharp bevel all the way around the edges, and it looks a lot better that way. You know, that way you don't have a sharp rise. This just doesn't matter structurally, except for possibly a stress riser, but it makes it look a lot neater. When you
mean like sanding the sides, like rounding them off and whatnot.
Of the doubler of your 30-second or 60.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, like feathering it out.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes it look a lot better. I'd say 30-second plywood for the doublers. Does it have doublers in the plans on the blueprint?
Flaps. Like for the flaps?
Yeah, for the flaps and the elevator.
As far as I know of, no. I don't believe no. Nah, yeah. Not at all.
I think it needs them, especially if you get out there in the field when you first fly it and find you need a flap tweak. You need those doublers on there to absorb some of the force when you're trying to bend that wire.
Mm-hmm.
There's something else I was thinking of too, but I can't remember what it was now. But I don't think if you put fiberglass over it, I don't think that's going to serve as well as just packing that hole with a little epoxy and sawdust.
Yeah, well, I mean, the fiberglass is mainly to hold the that wire in there. You know, that was the main reason for it, because the way how it just slips over it, you know.
Yeah.
In which, granted, it goes in.
I fill the gap with epoxy too, but.
And you see, like it's recessed.
Yeah.
You know, flush. And I could probably actually still come back with like a little tiny piece of maybe plywood right there over the top, epoxied on it, just for added strength. It wouldn't add that much weight to it, so.
Yeah, I'd do that. If you really feel like you need to do it, reinforce it, I'd do it that way rather than put the fiberglass on.
Mm-hmm.
I think fiberglass would end up looking kind of cruddy.
Because I can show them for the tail wheel. You know, little short rod going up into the bottom of the fuselage, then going along the bottom of the fuselage and coming out. And it says cloth and epoxy reinforcement right over it. Yeah, that ain't gonna last long. Boy, that's made.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking about doing,
the Cardinal is sandwiched in 2 pieces of ply, and then I notch out the fuselage for all of that to fit into. And I'll probably wrap up. That's another detail I got to do before I go to the super fill and dope. I probably ought to put a little wrap of fiberglass around down there.
Yeah, what I'm thinking about doing is notching a little part at the bottom of the fuselage off, like just cutting it clean off. Then like having like a little trench or whatever to where the wire could sit in, and then epoxying that wood back on there to where it won't do this.
That's kind of what I was describing on the Cardinal too. It's like that. In fact, I made the tail wheel assembly sandwiched between 2 16th plywood plates, and then cut a notch, and then that will be an 1/8 inch thick, and the notch will be an 1/8 inch, so it'll fit in there just like what you're describing.
I mean, that's what I'm thinking on doing that, but it might be all right the way it is. You know, if I do it how the drawing shows, I mean, it could be worse. I don't know. I just don't think they made the wire long enough, in my opinion. If I could find this silly looking little thing, I'll show you. In fact, here it is. And this one makes no sense. It's kind of like landing gear blocks when you got wing mounted gear. And all you have is that one little part right there going up into the wood. A 1/4 inch piece of wire going up in there.
Yeah.
That's it. Nothing else.
Well, the my Cardinal's got that same type thing, but where it's sandwiched in between the 2 pieces of ply along the horizontal part that's going to glue to the fuse, it has a hole bored in it and sticks through that hole too, which secures it from any sideways motion.
No. I mean, it's like this is balsa. I don't know if it would hold. I mean, I'm sure it'd be fine. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not. I mean, shit happens when you fly. You just never know when it's just gonna go smack, you know, on a landing. You know, just can't land hard with it. I mean, I don't know why I'm stressing over it. I really don't. It's a stock twister. It costs hardly nothing.
Well,
just
every time I build a model, I try new stuff just to see what's a waste of time and what's actually good. And so that's, you know, just consider it part of your learning curve.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Tom Creasy just said hi to us 2 minutes ago. Hey, Tom. You're welcome to come on in with us if you can. And George, did you find your password in your email? And here comes Tom. I had to
howdy.
Had to beg you to come in. How you doing?
Hi. Hey, Jamie, I was sitting here watching you, man. With that landing gear, I just went through that bull crap on my bastard. And yeah, I would not advise to use that type.
What for the tail wheel?
Oh, I thought I thought that was your main gear.
Oh no. I mean, I'm going to use the main gear. I ain't worried about that.
All right. Well, it looked like
it's that tail wheel. It's that tail wheel, man. It's a little thin wire, like 1/16 wire or whatever it is.
Oh, that'll be good. Just make sure that the wire is high tension strength. You know that it's the steel is heat treated, so it takes a lot to bend it.
Yeah, you don't want to anneal
If
it.
it's a
Mine
soft,
was hurt
if
as
it's a
hell.
soft steel, nope. I ran into that problem too.
That wire that was in the Cardinal kit was super hard.
Yeah, yeah. And actually, if you tried to bend it, it might break in two and then go through your thumb.
Yeah.
Right?
Just want to get the bend right the first time because you don't want to have to be trying to tweak that. Here comes Dennis Nunez. Hey, Dennis.
Good evening, everyone.
Sideways as usual, I see. How's it going tonight?
Going good.
Yeah, you are sideways.
Everybody sideways again? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Hang on.
We wouldn't recognize you if you weren't. There you go.
Well, yeah, no, hang on.
Here we are.
Perfect. Got a good picture tonight.
Yeah, the tail wheel wire. I mean, it only the part that actually goes up inside the fuselage is only about a 1/4 inch long. If it would be like a 1/2 inch long, yeah, whatever. You know, I'd be totally cool with it. Which I mean, I could always bend my own and do it. But I mean, it's pretty for what it is. It's pretty stiff. And unless I land super hard, and like I just said, you just never know when it's actually going to happen. But I mean, this stuff is it's a bitch to kind of bend it.
Oh,
So
well, you want it to be more than a bitch.
exactly. I wanted to. I just wanted to where if there is a hard landing, it ain't just going to start flopping side to side.
Well, that's a good reason for your cover plate that you're talking about putting on it, recessing in there. Bore a hole through that cover plate and let the end of the wire that extends down to the wheel go through that hole, and that'll brace it from moving sideways back and forth too.
Kind of like the brass inserts for the main gear, pretty much. That brass insert you run through the middle of the fuselage. You know what I'm talking about?
No, because I've never built main gear before in the wing.
You got this little brass tube, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's not wing mounted gear anyway. That's what I've got on mine.
Okay. All right. See, that's the landing gear I'm talking about. I'm telling you about, Jamie. It's
I got the same thing on my Ringmaster.
All right. Well, I fly off the grass all the time. I'll let you learn, but mine busted up after probably about 25 landings. It started getting loose, and it'd actually bend the wire to where it would actually go bend and poke a hole through that little brass tubing that you put in there.
Well, how many landing gear straps you got on yours?
Well, go figure. Where are you going to put the landing gear strap on?
Here.
Okay, on the side. Right, but it's a round rod. It's still going to rotate.
Oh, you are talking about wallowing it out that way. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, to physically keep that thing from rotating, you would have to actually get a steel strap, weld it to the wire, and then put 2 holes on each end of it and bolt it through. That way, hey, hang on a minute. My neighbors got my dogs acting up.
I'm going to type a message to George here for a second.
Yeah, so what I did was I just bent a whole new landing gear, but I bent it all in one piece instead of 2 separate pieces.
Yeah.
Because it'll rotate. That landing gear, because see, your wheels are on the side of it. And when you come in for a landing, it wants to make the wire rotate and go backwards, And
I understand it. But I mean, I haven't had no problems yet with my Ringmaster, and I done pancaked that thing to the ground 3 times, and it's still holding. And the only thing it did was just bend the wire out slightly at the bottom. But I mean, I'm not saying that it wouldn't happen that way, because I mean, obviously it happened with you. But
yeah, I'm not going to go through that bullshit again.
I know, but this is a SIG kit, man. This is SIG. This is built like Ford Tough. It's made out of oak, pretty much.
I'm sorry, but. Yeah, I guess that could be because I did, the balsa wood that built that was from RSM. and it was laser cut. Yeah, I would say it wasn't like an oak board. It wasn't as hard of a balsa wood that I've normally seen.
I don't think they can cut the harder balsa as well with the laser cutter as they can the soft balsa.
Yeah, that's true. That's like plywood. Some of them, they don't like to cut over 1/8 of an inch.
Yeah.
Plywood is about the max.
Jamie, Ron Hass says you're making him hungry.
No, not me, man. I'm full.
He said he had to go get him some snacks after watching you eat.
Yeah, well, hey, I've got my shop under construction down there. Yeah, I just sold my tanning bed. I just sold it, so now I'm gonna have plenty of room. I'm gonna have plenty of room for my paint room now.
Well, there go your plans for getting melanoma in your old age.
Yeah. Yeah. But that thing weighs 700 pounds.
Holy crap, really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually about the book says 685 pounds.
Wow, I had no idea it would be that heavy, but
them ballasts for them bulbs. There's 20 bulbs in it altogether.
Oh, okay. I guess it does get heavy. Besides that, they know they probably got some 400-pound fat girls that are going to be getting in there tanning, so they need a little weight to hold them from rolling over and falling over.
Dude, I'm telling you, there's a limit because when you get that door shut down on you, there ain't much space.
Mm-mm.
Not a 400-pound woman would do it.
Sometimes I wish I was a big old son of a bitch, but every time I have to go get an MRI, which is more times than I'd like to think about, I sure am glad I'm a skinny little boy.
Oh yeah. There's not much room in there.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, but
they got open MRIs now, but they don't get as good of an image as the tube.
I was hoping that Steve Hines would come in because the guy that bought that bed, he's going to help me take it out of the basement, and he doesn't know it yet, but he's going to help me take out that old water heater.
Steve will probably be in here. He usually shows up about halfway through the show.
Yeah, I'm going to have to figure out. I'm going to have to make me another paint thing. Get me I need a paint board. What'll get me,
Yeah, a test board.
Yeah, because man, you got to have it. I guess you can, you can spray the paper, but I always freak out spraying the paper when I really don't want to.
Well, you look in the classifieds, you can probably find you another old water heater and bring that in.
No,
a fresh start.
Yeah. No, I don't think so though. But anyway, so I'm upstairs tonight. I'm not messing around down there. There's no room for me to sit down there yet.
Yeah, so you got your warm fuzzies on.
Yep. Sitting back tonight on a Friday night watching. I ought to be doing what Dennis is doing because that's who I'm watching. I mean, I like that's therapeutic right there.
Yeah.
No, it ain't.
Yeah, it is. I love doing that. I'll sit and I could wipe and rub and rub for hours.
Do you wax your planes, Tom?
No, I don't wax it. I don't. I'm. My finish isn't as good as his. I like that plane though. I was trying to think of what that is. That almost looks like. I'm not sure.
Everyone wants to say it's a primary force, but it's not. It's my own design.
Yeah, I remember. I think I asked you that same question.
It kind of almost has a stiletto trait to it in the tail. A
It
A
stiletto.
looks
little
like
bit,
it's
yeah.
got heavy
The,
duty landing gear. Are those? Oh, I can see now. They're carbon fiber, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. You fly a lot off of a smooth surface, or do you fly off grass circles?
I fly off the grass.
Hey, Minnesota Mike, he's back at Bakersfield for the drag races. Thanks for coming in, Mike. I'm glad you're getting back in action. You had a long winter like a lot of the rest of us did. Good to see you in action.
What's that? An Oriental on your bench?
No, that's a Gladiator, 35.
Oh, the rudder sort of looks like a
It
Oriental.
kind of does, yeah.
Yeah, it's very similar. I mean, I think all those planes of that era look almost identical.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the part that I was most attracted to on the Oriental is that tail and rudder shape. Thought that was a good looking plane.
Yeah, I got a good paint scheme. I've got one downstairs in a box. Need to start putting it together. That'll be maybe this coming winter. Maybe. I don't know. Might since I got my paint room and everything all set up, man, I could just boom, boom, boom. I could just build maybe. I'll just maybe just build year round.
I usually build in the winter and repair through the summer, and then the worst wrecks get repaired when winter comes too.
Yeah.
Because boy, I got some carnage at the end of the season, and I found out my P40's busted worse than I said it was last time we were here. Well, two of them.
Oh.
How about that?
Got one that's electric and one that's gas.
No, they're both gas.
Huh?
This one I fly in profile, and then this other one I do my Pampa, which I'll be flying advanced for the first time this year.
Sweet. What is that? Did you say is that other one electric?
No, they're both gas.
Oh.
The profile's got a LA 46. This has a Super Tiger 60.
I didn't even realize it was a profile.
Neither did I. I thought it was a built-up fuselage.
No.
All I see on the other one, I don't see no muffler, so I just thought that it was.
Well, I got the little tongue muffler on this other one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it is. Sure enough.
Okay, now I see it.
Profile.
Still a great looking plane.
Sure is. Boy, you made that look like a build-up.
No, I put
You made that look like 3D fuselage.
The canopies are different.
Yeah, but because of the shape of that profile canopy like that, it makes you think the plane is the fuselage is a buildup to me.
Yeah, it looks like it on camera for sure.
Yeah.
Somebody's texting me. Let's see who our mystery visitor is. I got two texts. Minnesota Mike.
Dennis.
What's that?
I said those are nice looking airplanes, Dennis.
Oh, thank you.
Mike sent me a couple of drag cars, 6 cylinders. He said they run, let's see, what did he say? They run 12 flat. Okay. It doesn't look like much tire on that. That's pretty cool looking. I'll have to upload these to a folder so I can show y'all. I like that 67, 68 Camaro in the background over there too, with the big cowl induction hood on it. That's what I used to drive at the drag strips. That mine had a ugly ass snorkel on the hood. It had it when I bought it. I never cared for those big boxy snorkels, but that's what mine had, so I just left it that way. My street Camaros had cowl induction hoods on them. Oh yeah, Ron Hass is complimenting your planes.
Oh, thank you.
You're hypnotizing us, Dennis. We're all just sitting here like face is propped up on his knuckles. And
yeah, actually what was going through my mind is I was going through all my planes that I have ready for this year and making sure that everything's ready. I'm pretty sure I'm ready now.
Yeah, so I have a contest next weekend. In fact, Charles Carter down south, Southern California. I'll be heading down there. Going against Charles. We'll see what happens.
Jared Hayes asked Dennis what prop you're running on the ST60.
13.5 Zor.
13.5 Zor. Okay. I forget what Sparky's standard answer is. It's a 13.
Rev up 13.6.
Yeah, he likes them revs, isn't it?
Yeah, rev up.
Yep.
I was running a Zor 13.6, but it was too fast. And I had to slow the plane down. So 13.5 worked out pretty good. And it pulls a lot better in the corners.
Yeah, it's like dropping down a gear.
I don't know. I was trimming mine with the prop, you know, and I actually went too far. It was all right at 11.5, but man, when I went to 11.4.5, you know, 4.5 pitch, holy cow, dude, I about lost it. You know, I mean, it was real light to the touch and I couldn't feel it. And that's just a 0.5 degree of pitch difference. Yep. Getting close. I did get permission today where I fly at. So I'm good now. I was gonna go flying today, but I accidentally fell asleep.
Is it a park or something? Where do you fly?
At the middle school.
Oh.
The junior high, grade school, junior high school.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
They got a good grassy area.
Oh yeah, man. There's two circles that I got out that we, you know, I fly at. My coach and his friend are an hour and a half north of me, and then my flying buddy is 45 minutes south of me. So we just all meet here where I'm at. We fly here. The school here year round, man, they keep that sucker mowed sweet. So that's where I practice, and it's only 2.5 blocks from my house.
It's good when they mow it fairly often because the grass doesn't get quite as heavy a stalk on it.
That's right.
It's woody at the bottom.
Yep. It's not like that water grass.
Right. Yeah, if you got a field, you know you're going to have a contest. It's a good idea to, you know, cut it once, or at least 3 weeks before the contest, and then cut it again, and maybe even, you know, the day before, go ahead and get it a real close crop, and it'll be a lot softer than if you had just mowed it once the day before the contest.
Yep.
This week, Wayne and a bunch of our club guys went up to Triple Tree and repaired some dirt patches in the sod on the control line circles. I thought they'd waited too late, but I guess they got it in time. Those things are like golf course greens.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to take care of the equipment that used to mow them and maintain the greens.
They use rotary mowers, don't they? That the blade turns like that.
Yep. And they're knife blades. There's about 7 of them, and there's adjustments on it. Let me tell you, you gotta be careful because if you don't know what you're doing, they'll use it. They'll tear great big chunks out, saw it out of the ground. And boy, they don't like that because that grass, where I forget what type of grass that is on the golf course where the hole is.
Yeah.
It's a different type of grass. That's the grass that they got to use the blades on.
Bermuda grass or something like that.
Maybe. It reminds me almost like it almost reminds me like, when you make them train sets, them HO trains.
Yeah.
That stuff that they use.
There's something called Zorja.
Yeah.
I remember calling it around here.
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah. But yeah, there's some nifty machinery though, to take care of a golf course. That's for sure. Kind of neat.
Giving it a good pre-flight there. When you going flying, Dennis?
Next weekend. But I'm probably putting a couple practice flights next week. Just
you fly.
Make sure everything's okay.
What level you at?
I'm advanced.
Advanced. How long you been doing it?
I just started back. This is my 3rd year now. But I did it as a kid in my teenage years.
Oh, yeah.
And then, married and kids and work and so forth, and got out of it. And
I know what you mean. Life got a hold of me too.
Yeah, that's a similar story for all of us, I think.
And it's kind of, I wish I could have maintained it, throughout my whole life. I could have at least done something.
Most people can't.
Yeah, I was pretty busy raising kids myself and everything. I knew.
Yeah, when you got a family, you just can't.
It's pretty hard to do, ain't it?
Yeah.
It's hard doing it now, even being retired.
Oh, I'm semi.
Now everything you own is old and it needs fixing.
Right. That's where we're at in our stage of our life right now. We're going through the house remod process.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to get a bathroom fixed up here pretty soon and some new kitchen counters and a new floor. And we moved in here 31 years ago and hadn't really done anything to it except for maintenance, but it's a 70-year-old house this year. But as tough as nails. The developer that built this neighborhood built this particular house for himself, and I think a lot of it's built out of leftover construction materials, but it's basically a cinder block house that forms up all of the rooms and all the way down to the ground, and then plaster over that. So if you get pissed off and punch a wall, you'll regret it. Because they are the hardest, solidest damn walls I ever saw. Except for I'm sitting in a little addition here off of the kitchen, and it's got paneling and sheetrock. Oh, Charles Carter's in with us. Hey, Charles.
Hey, what's up, Rusty?
Not too much. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
What you been doing for fun?
Not a whole lot of fun. I've just been having bad luck sessions, I tell you. Like today, when I finally got situated after a lot of delays, the wind was whistling at 14.4 mile an hour.
Huh. Guess what? I had an option to fly today, and you know what happened?
What?
I fell asleep.
You fell asleep while you was flying?
No, I was going out there, and I had lunch, and I was just sitting there waiting for my lunch to settle, and the next thing I know, I woke up 2.5 hours later.
Wow, you was tired.
That's funny.
And I'm like, well, you know, wife was coming home, it's getting close to the, you know, getting supper. And so I was like, well, I just missed my window.
I have missed my windows before too. It's like, oh, really? Oh, man.
I mean, you know, when you get up from a nap, you know, I was still droggy. I mean,
Oh, I feel awful when I sleep in the daytime after I wake up.
yeah, that's exactly right. Yep. And I'm like, shit, there's no way I'm going to pack everything up and go.
We got a skydiving discussion going on over on the YouTube side.
Oh,
Yeah,
skydiving.
I just told there's no way I'm going to jump out of no perfectly good airplane. Hell no.
Got to be smoking and flaming before you'll jump out, huh?
That's right. Man, talking about that, man, that's so awful what happened to that airliner. Them engines, man, they go through a lot of abuse, you know. It's a piece of machinery.
Did I miss something in the news? Was there an airliner that went down?
Well, no, not went down, but had an engine blow up, and a part went through a window of a plane and then sucked the woman out of the plane. But, you know, she was stuck there. I mean, she couldn't fit her whole body through there. And,
Oh, shit.
yeah.
How terrifying is that?
Took two big guys, to pull her in the airplane. And then they tried CPR, but couldn't revive her.
Man, she probably got frostbite out there too.
Well, I don't know, man. You know, you traveling 600 miles an hour, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just like it'd just be like you're suffocating. I mean, you wouldn't be able to breathe any air in.
You're right.
You know, plus it's 60 below up there.
Yeah.
You know, let alone the wind chill factor of 600 miles an hour. But
I wonder how far out she got. Probably up to her hips.
Maybe. I don't know if she got her shoulders past her or not. But I just think that's awful. But they're coming to find out that the fan blade, see, when I forget how many revolutions per minute. I thought it was 30,000 RPM, but I'm not, you know, revolutions per minute on the motors, but I'm not sure. I can't remember. And them fan blades, they set out a frequency, you know, all that metal going around.
Mm-hmm.
And they're thinking that frequency, there's vibrations in it, which causes stress, and they'll snap.
Yeah.
Airline cracks in them. So now I seen on the news today that they had the ultrasound that they was checking the cracks with. It was like a little teeny little bitty little thing. You know, I figured it'd be a little bigger, like a doctor's stethoscope, you know. So I don't know if that's how they're testing, but looked like that's what they was using.
Yeah. A lot of times it'll turn out to date back to the manufacturing of it too.
Well,
it's supposed to be inspected, but once in a while they'll miss a crack.
Oh yeah, the guy on the YouTube side says, yeah, she still had her seatbelt on.
Wow.
Bob Bishop says no, not that fast, because the fan tips can't go supersonic.
Fan tips can't go supersonic. What you mean supersonic is what speed of sound? 600
750 at sea level.
Oh, 750. Okay.
Don't we hear isn't the noise that a prop plane makes with the propeller little tiny sonic booms off the tips? I always thought that was a little sonic, sonic boom as each tip swings through the air.
I'm not sure.
I'm not either. Bob, maybe Bob's an A&P. I don't know.
Well, I've got my A&P, but
you're an A&P.
I can't remember. I can't, I've been out of aviation for a while now.
Bob says no, he's not an A&P. I don't know. Speaking of, Bob says, let's see, not with a properly sized prop. Well, anyway.
Anyway,
I'd like
Western Airline. That's what happened, and they said that General Electric. That's the manufacturer, and they said that the airline's been sending all their engines back to them. Anytime there's engine work or anything like that, they do all the engine work. So,
what kind of plane was the engine on?
I think this was an A320.
I would say they buy American engines for those Airbuses, huh?
But hey, a lot of people don't think, how many flights a day in the United States do we have?
No.
If you consider the whole, that's a lot of piece of machinery out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of moving parts, and it's just like people say, well, I'm going to buy a new car so I don't break down. It don't matter. It's a piece of machinery. Yeah, it's going to break down eventually. But there's just, I don't know. I always, when I was in aviation working for a living, it was always, everything was kept track very closely. You have all your schedules, you have all your paperwork, everything's got to be in order. I mean,
Wally Haskett says it was the 737-400.
Oh, I thought it was. I'm completely all messed up then. I thought it was an A320.
Bob Bishop says air show types run oversized props that do go supersonic, inefficient, but it sounds good for the crowds. And Bob agrees it was a 737-400.
Well, anyway, I got some of my information right. It still sucks though that what's the chances someone had to die.
Well, I'm glad it didn't chop a big hole in the wing. Even though more people might have died if that had happened.
Yeah.
Wally says he's going to join us live in a little bit.
All right. The one fatality, that's not bad considering all the lives that are on that plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. But still, it's, it's just sad. I mean, out of all them people, just a random pick,
Yeah. The person who died, I saw a picture of her husband and her 2 kids.
Yep.
That's sad.
Yep. Weird stuff happens, man.
So, Charles, are you ready for the Palmer?
I am not ready. Dennis, I can't remember the last time I did what I would consider an official pattern, I know I did a pattern last Saturday, but it was just, all high and, high bottoms, and I was just happy just to be able to do something. And so hopefully this week, I'm going to hopefully get a lot of practice. I'm going to try to practice as much as I can in the mornings before I go to work.
Are you trying to make me feel pity for you, or?
I'm just telling it like it is, But I'm definitely whatever I got, I'm going to bring it, I've heard a saying, You better bring it, but you're not going to find it there.
Yeah.
So,
that's a good one. Never heard that put like that before.
yeah,
I like
it's a golf saying, you know, you just can't, you know, when you get there, you know, I've had people comment on me as I practice a lot when I get a chance. You know, I practice on grass and compete on asphalt. So when I get a chance, I you know, at the Golden State last year, I must have practiced almost an hour between the first and second round.
I remember.
And so I will see. I was hoping to be judging, but I spoke to the CD today, and he said that he appreciates my attitude, but he really wants the cast to be all club members, and he appreciates my desire to help out. But so that frees me up, so I'll be able to practice at the contest a lot more if I'm not judging.
Now, will they have a practice circle there? Is there just the one circle, or is there multiple circles?
There's actually 3 open circles, and they'll be having the I mean, open as far as let me explain. There's a 4th circle, which is a speed cage, which we can actually fly inside the cage, and people don't go in the cage because it's an inconvenience to get into the cage, but that's a circle. And then the other ones, there's no fence around. That's what I meant by open. So they're not open in the sense that they're going to be available for practice, but there might be one. But there is if I remember correctly, I think there's 3 circles there, and but we can probably use the cage, Dennis. We could probably go inside there and practice a lot. Hey, what's up? What's up, Tabby?
So, Dennis, what's the puppy's name?
Chloe.
Chloe.
I have one that's black, that's the same size. She's only 7 pounds, and her name's Zoe. Zoe and Chloe.
Yeah, Samantha's got that little rat terrier. She weighs 12 pounds. But
oh, Steve, hate to tell you this, man. I'm getting rid of my water heater tomorrow.
I'm supposed to too.
That old water heater is gonna go bye-bye.
Yeah, I'm supposed to take mine and drop it off at the shop and then go pick up a bench, and that was the plan. But Samantha's we got to go to the college and for something there for like 4 or 5 hours. But I don't know if my water heater will be gone or not.
You should tell her to go to
Now,
trade
where will you
school.
practice your painting?
I know, right?
Yeah. I got them all set up now though, so.
Hey, I'll tell you one thing, Steve. I told you guys earlier, my son, my tanning bed, I just sold it. They're coming to pick it up tomorrow.
Good deal.
Yeah, it is a very big deal because let me tell you, that opens up my whole paint room. Yes, sirree, Bob.
What are you gonna do for tans now though, man?
Huh?
So what are you gonna do for tans?
Dude, I tell you.
You won't be able to get your full body tans anymore.
You see me last year. All it takes is 3 or 4 times outside, and I'm me and Charles can pass for brothers, except I got hair.
Huh.
Okay.
I get dark. I get real dark.
Yeah, I talked to Jeff today. He's looking forward to that Memphis Belle thing.
I'll be back.
Okay.
Yeah, I just filled out the invitation, and I got the confirmation of the reservations back, so I got them in hand. Yeah, I figured maybe I don't get one in the mail or something, and I can't print this thing off. Maybe I'll get an invitation when I get there or something. I kind of figured they'd send something in the mail or something,
Yeah.
and like have a little souvenir or something,
Yeah.
But no, it's all electronically. It's all electronic invitation.
Yeah, that's paperless society anymore.
Yeah, guess so. It's like when you win at an airplane contest. It'll be online. You just print it off. It'll be there when you get there.
That's about it. So what motor's in that one? That airplane, Dennis?
Super Tiger 60.
Oh, okay. That's one of them blow through mufflers or whatever they call them.
No, you're all right.
No, this doesn't have the muffler lugs.
Oh, okay, so it looks like that hole goes all the way through it, but it doesn't, huh?
Oh, on the muffler?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a flow through.
Does that actually muffle anything with it being like that or not?
Not that I can tell.
Why is
lightweight
it?
and it's a muffler.
Why is it like that?
You have to ask the guy that designed it. I don't know. I just use it.
It's got an inner can in it.
Oh, I've just never seen one like that. I didn't even know it was. I never even knew they made mufflers flow through like that.
Usually they were strap-ons back in the day, but I don't know if they made any of that bolted on or not.
Well, this is a strap-on.
Yeah, they used to always be strap-ons.
I've got them for Fox's 60s that are bolt-ons. They have an inner can that has slots in it that go around it, that the exhaust comes through, and then the air helps push it through the back.
Oh, darn. Isn't that something?
They're pretty neat, actually.
Yeah. Is it lightweight?
It's
No.
light or for a flow-through muffler, it's lighter.
Yeah, it's lighter than a stock muffler that comes in a lot of these air models. Let me go grab one real quick and I'll show you.
Yeah. Cool.
So, Charles, you get your K77 running good?
It's running better. I had a bad day today again, but it's running better. I actually flew it. I didn't do the full pattern. I just did, 8s and flew upside down. It seems like it's running the same speed inside and outside, which is what I didn't have before. So
okay,
it's looking better. And then when I did the vertical 8, not today, but I did a vertical 8, and I noticed that it was faster. Not faster, but it was faster than it was with the Stalker 81 up above. So it's looking good.
Well, that's good.
The K77 is about almost 2 ounces lighter. So the CG is a little bit different. So the plane's actually a little bit more sensitive. But it's looking good. I'm hoping to get a lot of practice in this week. So I'll be prepared. Right now, I don't feel prepared at all.
Yeah, I have a feeling that, it's going to take a whole lot of gallons of fuel to get that thing really broke in good.
Really? I on Casmanato's website, he just says 3 bench runs and then fly it,
Yeah.
And, but I've ran it on the test stand for probably an hour before I put it in the plane. And then since it's been in the plane, I have probably only about 7 flights, I think.
Well, you guys are, flying this type of, with the PAs and road jets and stuff like that. When they're doing 10 years, they never touch them, then you know that it takes a long time to break them in because they run forever.
Yeah, I'm hoping to have that same experience. I mean, so far, I had that Stalker. I mean, it's a little disappointing, but I had that Stalker working pretty darn well. I mean, I was flying on 66 lines, eyelet to eyelet, and right now I'm on 62-foot lines, eyelet to eyelet. So I don't have the same kind of power I had before.
Okay.
What happened to the Stalker?
It had like a, what do you call it, an asymmetry kind of an issue where it would slow down. When I did the vertical 8 particularly, it would slow down on the top round loop. It would slow down, but in California, it would slow down, but I would just wait for it. It was no big deal. But when I went to Arizona, it was a big deal because the air was thinner. air was much thinner, and it, you know, um, so that was kind of a good experience. Arizona, it really showed me that I really had a problem, because that stalker was so torquey that even if the plane was going slow, it could go anywhere I wanted. You know, it was it just gave me a lot of confidence. You know, but it also enabled it to have that discrepancy, and I just lived with it because I just had torque and I can go anywhere I want.
So this K77 stock Venturi, or do they send you get different Venturis to try with it, or?
It's what I was given was just one Venturi. So I imagine it's the stock Venturi. It looks kind of small. I don't know what the measurement is. So I probably could eventually, you know, it looks like the same Venturis that I have for the stalker. It looks so similar. I wouldn't be surprised if I couldn't use some of the Venturis I have already. But if I have to buy some new Venturis or get some machined or something, I don't know. Right now, I'm just going to stick with the Venturi I have, and I'm just trying to find a prop. I really haven't done much prop testing. I have a bunch of props to try. I hope to get a chance to try some different props. I'm running 14-inch props right now. I have a 14 1/4. I'd like to try and see if I get more thrust out of that.
Well, what pitch are you running?
The 14.5. I think it's the 14.5 right now. But I have a 14. I have a 14.6 I could try. 14 1/4 6. I have some 13s that are, you know, 6, 7, and 8. So I have a bunch of props I could try.
Do you have any 3 blades?
Yeah, I had a 3 blade, but it's too small. It's I think it's a 12-inch. No, wait, no, 13-inch. But the plane was going too slow. When I put the 14-inch, then I finally had lap times I could deal with. You know, so I might need a bigger 3 blade. I don't know, but you know that Strega has a thick wing. That wing must be at least 3 1/4 inch thick, and the Strega is really draggy. You know, so I need a lot of thrust. You know, so it's just you know, I tried the setup that Casminato recommended on his website. You know, like a 12 3-blade prop. I had the whole setup. You know, didn't work for that Strega.
What kind of RPM were you running?
It's in my flight log, but my guess would be at over 8 grand.
Yeah, because you may have to get that up close to 10 grand.
Yeah, you know, right now with the 14, it won't turn that fast right now.
I was wondering about that 13-inch prop that Kaz recommends.
Maybe. You know, it's just you know, it's a new motor to me, and you know, I mean, the stalker was running like 7 grand. I mean, this is so much faster than what I have been running. You know, I had the stalker down as low as 6,800 at one point.
Yeah, the stalkers, they run real low RPM compared to these other motors.
Yeah, so that's a totally different feeling. You know, I'm not accustomed to a motor running so hard. You know, I mean, it sounds like it's running hard to me, and I could be mistaken, but I'm running right before I release the plane. It is kind of a rich two cycle. I mean, it doesn't totally stay in the 4, but it's right there in the ballpark. You know, I want it so now when I raise the nose, I want it to speed up. You know, that's kind of how I've been doing it. But
I know that, like on some of the PAs and stuff, there isn't much of a change. You know, they call it a wet 2 and it goes to 2, but I was reading that they try to keep that down to around 200-300 RPM difference when it breaks. It's not the big break like you get from a Fox or then the stalkers and stuff like that.
Right. I saw Dave Fitzgerald fly, and I saw his setup, and you're right. It's not too much difference of a break. And it's nice because when the wind's blowing, it is really, gives you a lot of comfort knowing that the plane is not going to run away or just, just take off. Even if I hear the motor speed up, when I was flying with the Stalker at the state, the motor would speed up, but the plane didn't. It was really neat. I really loved it.
And I know Samantha, she likes no brake on her airplanes because she says that when the engine breaks, it disrupts the plane.
Yeah, it can.
It tends to want to, torque it in at you or whatever a little bit. But when it breaks, you can feel the line tension change.
Yeah.
So he likes hardly any brake at all.
Yeah, that is a nice. I tasted that last year. It is a nice experience when you have that basically hardly any brake. That's how the Stalker was set up. It didn't break very much, and when it did break, it was such a small amount. It didn't make any difference.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm just getting familiar with this puppy. I tell you, it's a whole new experience.
I still think out of the Stalker motors, the 51 is the best running. That motor, I mean, it just runs so good, and it can pull a big airplane.
Wow.
And
I'm going to send my Stalker to a friend, and hopefully he can look at it and see what could possibly cause it to do what it was doing. Where it would I could not get it to speed up any more than it was on outside maneuvers. Didn't matter how much I shimmed the engine, because I couldn't lower the tank anymore, so I was shimming the engine to speed up on outsides, and I actually had it shimmed up to almost 5/8 of an inch. Didn't make any difference.
Did you ever try to make the Venturi smaller?
Oh, I had a conversation with somebody, and he said the same thing. I didn't do that. I just I tried new tanks. I switched tanks. And then I switched the engine. Then I realized, okay, so it's not the airframe, it's the engine. And I've been playing with this K77. I have it in my flight log, but it's probably been at least 3 weeks, I think, or maybe a month. I don't know.
My brother, I keep telling him that he's got to change the Venturi on his Brodak 40, because that was Samantha flew that, and when it took like 2 years, but it once we put a smaller Venturi on it, it stopped that, because I had a special tank, all that kind of stuff. Just like that, it finally breaks in to where it's running so free that it doesn't need as much fuel or whatever.
Wow, that's interesting, because I have a Brodak 40 on an Oriental that I'm also trying to bring along, and I was tempted to put a head shim in it to soften up its brake, because it has a hard brake.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to Al. Al was on our Google Hangout a month ago, and he was telling me, from what I described, I probably have one of the earlier Brodak 40s, which did have hard brakes, and they put head shims to calm it down.
I tried all that. It worked better with just going with a smaller Venturi, and then all that calm down went away. You can't believe how good it ran.
Wow.
On my profile with the LA-46, it was flying too fast, and I was running almost close to near 5 ounces of fuel to get through the pattern on that. And I went in and put in a LA-25 Venturi.
Right.
Brought it down. Fuel draw was improved 150%.
Wow.
And I'm now running on 4 1/4 ounces.
Yep. Exactly.
Wow. It runs steady.
That's what, Randy Smith, if you get one of his motors, he automatically knocks that Venturi size down. And I still think it's that when they're, especially with the Brodak 40, the LA-46, that bushing is tight in there. You get one that the clearances are so tight, then once it breaks in, it just needs less fuel. It turns over easier. It's more efficient. But yeah,
I was thinking the same thing. I want, soften it up, put another head gasket in, and I, listening to Brett Buck, he says, don't do anything to it.
Right.
No head gasket. There's nothing you need to do with that. Just, if you need to slow it down, just reduce the size of the Venturi.
Yeah.
And, because one of the problems I ran into was I was running the stock muffler, and the speed was just perfect, stock muffler, but I wanted to lighten up the wing loading So I went to a tongue muffler and I gained 500 RPM on the engine run, which sped up the plane.
Right.
But the plane was flying better because it was a little bit lighter.
Right.
And so he said, just get a bunch of Venturis. I got them through, I can't remember, was it Jim Lee, I think it was, for the 46. And I tried, I had a 25 Venturi laying around. I said, well, let me try this one. So I put that on in there. It was like night and day.
Wow. I might consider that.
I put a 762 OS muffler on my 46. Reduced the orifice size out of the exhaust and then added more castrol. Keep the engine cooler because of the restriction of the muffler. And it done away with my runaway problem. But yeah, the Venturi, I'm going to try that. I got a Byron Parker Hemi 46 LA that he's done, and it's got a different Venturi on it.
Yeah.
And it runs great with a tongue muffler.
Well, that Brodak 40 that Samantha was running, we were barely getting through the pattern with 4.5 ounces. And that thing was, once I changed the Venturi, got it running good, 3.5. Ounce less of fuel.
Yeah.
And it runs so much better, and it has, I mean, it turns the propeller at the same RPM. You know, and stuff like that. So the lap times are the same and all that.
What size of Venturi you used on that Brodak 40?
We went to I think I went to a 280. But I wanted to go like to 285. I think it's just a teeny bit small, but I dropped it down from what, 305.
Yep. No, it don't take much.
You know,
I'll measure mine and see what I have. I don't know what mine measures because it's a used motor and a used plane when I got the Oriental and the Brodak 40.
Can I tell you something?
I can't remember. I think it used to be on Stunthangar, no, on Pampa. Well, there was a chart on how to figure out what size Venturi you needed for the size motor.
I've seen that chart. I've seen it.
And that'll kind of give you an idea, you know. But there was no other 40 out there besides Brodak running, you know, a 305 or 306 on some of them, you know, when you measured them and stuff like that. There was nothing that was running that big.
Right. Just 1 second. My son wants to talk to me.
Okay.
That's a huge Venturi 305.
Yeah.
You got a friend there with you, Tom. Get him up on your lap and.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the table. Yeah. The table's too cold for her belly.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah, that was Zoe Bub.
No, that was Zoe.
Yeah, little Zoe.
Yeah, I went from big dogs to little dogs, and my brother's like asking me about Indy and stuff like that, and I said, "Dogs are dogs. She's just not big enough to get up on the table and clean it off and stuff."
Yeah.
You know, she'd love to. She looks at the counters and stuff like that. Like, damn, I'd love to get up there. Where my old dog, he could get up. He was tall enough to where he could
put his paws up there, huh?
Well, his paws, but he was tall enough, he could reach in and he just actually rake stuff off the. The one time I left, and I'm like, I'm gonna leave the front room window shade open so I can kind of watch him. So I went outside, started my truck, and walked back to the front window, and he was already cleaning off the counters.
Wow.
So, son of a bitch heard the truck start, and he didn't pay attention to make sure I had left.
They're not dumb. They know when you're looking.
But yeah, so Indy's the same. She just tries to figure out how to get up on stuff to get to things, but as long as we keep the chairs pushed in and stuff like that, she can't get up on the table. She can't get on the countertops. But she would if she could, because all dogs are the same. But she just, you know, it's the same thing with dogs jumping on you. You just hardly notice she jumps on you.
All right.
All right. Well, I got to go. Nice talking with you, gentlemen.
Okay,
Charles,
Dennis.
I'll probably call you in a day or two. And,
You talking to me, Dennis?
Yeah, I'll call you in a day or two.
That sounds good, man.
And see what we do. Work out for the contest.
That sounds good.
Dennis.
All right. Take care, Dennis. We'll see you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, Wally. Now I've got you.
That's right where I want you, Wally.
Yeah, baby.
Wally, been a long time since
Hey,
I've actually talked to you.
Yeah, I've been around. I just been a lot of different oddball stuff going on. Here's your Fox muffler.
Right.
That's got the plug in the inside or on the outside for the front of it. This one here is the flow through.
Can't see it. Gotta hold it up higher.
There. That a little better.
Yeah.
That's the flow through. Now this here is the guts to the flow through. See how it's slotted there?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So that goes in the bottom of it here. You screw it in the back, and there's your flow through. So it's still a muffler with the slots.
I see.
The drawback is the back end of this. The only thing that fits that is a Hobbyco, the largest deflector that they make. You can get it to go on that, and then you can tie it on. But they actually work pretty good. I've got a couple of these, and I've got tongue mufflers too that I use.
Oh, okay.
Man,
but
where do you get them?
Well, you used to get them from Fox. Once in a while, they'll come up on eBay and stuff. You just have to watch. There used to be quite a bit. Now anymore, it's pretty rare. But
when you go looking for them on eBay, what do you type in there? What's
Fox engine parts.
Huh?
Fox engine parts.
Oh. So what's the name of that muffler?
It's just a flow through muffler for a 60.
Oh, usually it's a 60 size and above that they have them typed. They don't have anything for a 40 size.
Oh, they had them back then.
They had them too for the 40s. But trying to find a 40 size, this comes up once in a while. The smaller engines, it's like good luck. Yeah, you're better off, actually, to tell you the truth, just going with a tongue muffler. Just build a tongue muffler. I'm going to be building 3 of them here in a couple of weeks. And one of them's going to be for this engine right here. You guys probably can't guess what that is.
I don't know what it is. Oh, Evolution.
Evolution.
Oh, yeah.
It's the Evolution 46. It's brand new. The other day, what I did is I took it and I ground all the extra crap and weight off of it. And I took, let's see what I did with it. This here was on the front of it on the prop drive. This here weighs 1.5 ounces. So I took that to my son's shop and I pressed it off. So that's gone. Then I got rid of over 1/2 ounce of aluminum just on the engine, not even counting the muffler.
Wow.
So now this is a 14-ounce engine all put together. And it's going to have, I've got ceramic bearings ordered for it. Should be here a couple days next week.
Very cool.
This will have ceramic bearings with the weight loss. 46. It's brand spanking new, never been on a model. And I'm not sure what I'm going to put it on yet, but not only that, next week I'm going to Cerakote it. It'll look pretty cool after about Tuesday or Wednesday next week. This time, next Friday, I'll show it to you. It'll be Cerakoted.
So what did you press off of that weighed 1.5 ounces?
This ring right here, this was on the prop drive. This here for radio control engines is like a flywheel. And
some idle probably.
Yeah, so you got a smooth throttle response up and down running on your radio controls. That first thing was gone. Whoops. Yeah, I didn't want to have that on that airplane. I mean, you figure you put that on your engine, you're going to have to put 4 ounces of weight in the tail just to equalize what you have hanging off the front right there, trying to be a flywheel.
Yeah.
So, what are you going to put back on the crank to take up that space?
We lost your audio, Wally.
Your audio went out. I wonder if he come unhooked.
How's that?
That's
Yeah.
better.
Okay, yeah, I come unhooked. I got tangled up in
Yeah,
this
he was trying to
wire.
pick that thing up off the floor.
But anyway, the prop drive that goes around the shaft, you know, that comes right off of the bearing here, Steve.
Yeah.
That thing was pressed on the outside of it.
It's your back plate.
Yeah, it's your
You know,
back
where your prop
Yeah.
goes on and hits
It's
on
your-
the plate, Steve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It goes right there. So you just
Let me go
just
grab
press
it real quick. Let me go grab it real quick, and I'll show you, Steve.
All right.
Sure. Well, I am looking through eBay on Fox engine parts, like he said.
All right.
What you looking for? A muffler?
Yeah, I did come across a Ford Mustang GT 5-liter V8 302 engine exhaust header.
That'll work.
Do it.
That'll flow some good.
What are you looking for?
Kind of heavy though.
Yeah, I was about to say that wouldn't fit within your weight requirements.
Yeah. Oh, we're going way off basis now. I'm OBD2 scanner reader. And,
Go into Toys and Hobby. Yeah, Toys and Hobby.
That's right.
And then from there you go to punch in Fox, or it'll say Control Line RC under Toys and Hobby. And then that refines that search a little better.
okay. I'm on Toys and Hobby. Now Fox engine parts. Let's see what happens.
I got a Fox muffler right here, man.
Where?
Right here in my hand, bro.
Flow through?
A what?
Flow through?
Flow through.
The hell is that?
We've been talking
Yeah,
about it for an
we've
hour.
been-
Where you been?
Just talking about that muffler with the
About this for
slots
an
cut
hour.
in. Insert.
Y'all lost me a long time ago.
The insert with the slots cut in it. When it's installed, it's a flow-through muffler.
Yep, you can see through it from front to back.
No, okay, this one's totally different. No, it ain't nothing like that.
Yep.
I'm gonna step away for a second. I'll be right back.
All right.
All right.
You're gonna miss it.
So that muffler you were just talking about.
You're gonna miss it. You're gonna miss it.
All
Rusty.
right, I'll wait then. Yeah, I do actually want to see it. Anybody notice I got all my hair cut off?
Oh no. Well,
I got
you have a ponytail.
Same.
Oh, I thought it was tucked in your shirt.
No,
Wow.
no, I got
Okay.
the fruit cut too.
Would you donate that for a wig for?
No, she cut it off in small amounts. Besides, who the hell wants an old gray hippie hair?
My mom.
Yeah, my sister-in-law did that. Grew her hair way out, and then
My son used to donate it to Locks of Love.
yeah, and
He had his hair back in college and all. He had it way down, I guess, to his belt. But I was starting to be late for dialysis in the mornings because it took me so damn long to take a shower with all that hair. I just got sick of messing with it, and it got so long that I couldn't manipulate it into a ponytail very easy without a couple of tries, because I was using zip ties to tie the ponytail. I can't. My fingers don't have the strength to open up those elastic bands anymore, so I just carry a pair of needle nose pliers in my pocket and put a zip tie together and then tie it back and reach back with the pliers and zip, and then cut it off. And,
I figured you did it so that your wife can't grab you by that ponytail and haul your ass around.
that could
Mad
be
at
a
you.
help too. That way, it's an unthought of advantage. Yeah,
Damn it, Rusty, come here. Listen to me.
snatch me around.
Get over here.
That's why I don't have a nose ring.
Okay, here you go, Steve.
All right.
Crankshaft.
All right.
All right, let me click on you, Wally. All right, there we go.
Here's your thrust drive washer.
Yeah.
Well, what they did was they had this pressed onto the thrust drive. Like that, but all the way on it.
Okay.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
then it was just sitting there as a flywheel going around.
So what are you going to use now to space that?
Well, you don't have to, because this is what it is. See, and your bearing goes right here. Here's your thrust washer spacer, and then you got your prop drive that goes on there right to the end of the slot. So then you got that, your prop washer, and your nut, and you're ready to go.
so with that ring on
went
there,
all the way up around that lip.
Right.
All right.
So it was actually sitting there just like that.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
you
it was,
don't need it.
It's just like he says, it's for a smoother response and throttle up and down. You know, the RPM's going up and
so
down.
it wasn't actually
harmonic
pressed
balance.
onto the crank. It was pressed onto your thrust washer.
Right, correct.
Oh, I thought it was pressed onto the crank, and I'm like,
Oh yeah,
Wow,
I see
no.
where you're coming from. Yeah, it has nothing to do with the crank. And here's all my notes. I'm like Mr. Wendy Arnowski. These are all notes that I've taken off of this engine. And here's the new intake venturi that I'll have for this, which is coming, which will be next week. So it'll have a regular control line venturi on it. So I get rid of all that radio control stuff.
Yeah.
Then with that, then both these bearings will be, this is the inside bearing, this is the outside bearing. They will be stainless steel with ceramic balls. The
Okay.
races are stainless with ceramic balls. Now you can get them complete ceramic bearings, but I decided to save an extra $40 and just get the ceramic balls,
yeah, those are
which will still work.
okay.
And I've got a couple engines that I run ceramic bearings on, and I love them.
Where do you buy your bearings, Wally?
You can get them at bearing shops, or in fact, believe it or not, one of these is coming from eBay, and the other one I ordered from a bearing shop. One of them measured out in standard measurements, and the other one, which was the rear ones, measured out in millimeters. So there's the inside bearing, there's the outside bearing. So anyway, they're both coming. And I didn't order any extras. Usually I'll order extras, but this time I didn't order extras. I'm too cheap. Then my son has an Evolution 36 that goes on the PT-19, the Hangar 9 outfit
Yeah.
that he wants me to build. Anyway, that's the muffler on that. I haven't even taken it out of the bag yet. I was comparing engines and stuff yesterday, so I took it out of the box. But yeah, this thing here will be probably a dark aluminum with a dark blue or a purple on the head and the drive unit and the muffler. So
Well,
it's gonna look pretty cool when it's done.
So you've
On
got
that
an
third- on
anodizing set up.
The 36 Evolution,
Yes.
get the 40 muffler for it. 40 RC
Well,
muffler.
Yeah.
You'll see a big increase in power and stuff.
Well, this is what's going to be on this muffler stock is secondary. This one here is primary. I'm going to cut 3 mufflers out of this, which would be tongue mufflers for the 46. This is perfect.
Is that from
And
Dubro?
I'll build, yeah, this is an old Dubro blank, and I'll make some tongue mufflers out of this one. But I got this engine, Tom, off eBay, brand spanking new, $40.
Very good.
And it just barely came online, and it wasn't a bid. It was to buy outright. And I just punched right on there and bought it for $40.
I can't beat that.
Yeah, I got lucky.
What, you find that under Fox Parts?
Nope, I found this one just going under model airplane engines. I do it all the time.
You ever search for mistyped stuff too?
You know what? Very seldom I do, because I don't spend the time going in there and looking, like that.
Yeah.
I should, but I don't.
Talking to Jeff today, he picked up a Cox P-51, the one done in red, white, and blue.
Oh yeah, yeah, Miss America.
He went under plastic models. He says he does that, just goes all the time. It was under plastic models. He got it for $75.
Wow,
he did really good.
Yeah.
The
one without decals. It was really the painted one that they did for a year or so.
Yeah, he did good there, because some of those are going 300 in the box.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Never run in the box. But yeah, I know that my buddy Dick, he's always finding LAs. I don't know where he finds them. He looks under strange stuff and comes up with LA 46s and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, 46s, there are not that many anymore. But if you want LA 40s, like James, if he likes that LA 40, and I do love the LA 40, I'm going to be building a bi-slob that's going to have an LA 40 in it. Well, actually, it's not an LA, it's an FX.
That's a ball bearing.
They come up they're not the FX, it's the one with the bushing.
FP.
FP, yeah, the FP. That's going to be going in a bi-slob.
Yeah, that's a good engine.
Yeah, and it runs real good. My son had it in a P40.
Yeah, that's what's on my Twister.
But anyway, the 40s come up quite often. I see them on there quite a bit. You can get 40s. I mean, them and the Magnum 40s. Now, that Magnum is a 40 that's like a copy of the OS, but the LX is a bearing motor, a little heavier than a bushing engine, but they run really good. But they are cheap. You can get brand new ones on there for $30-$40. Most of the OS engines you see are used, but if you're really selective, you can get you some pretty good 40s on there for dang cheap.
I know it's me. I'll mute my mic.
Yeah, I go in spurts. I go for quite a while and don't pay any attention to the stuff. And then, like 2 weeks ago, I picked up a brand new McCoy, the square case ones, the Series 21, brand new 40 for $30. I picked up a brand new Fox 15 control line for $30. I picked up this Evolution for $40. And well, I don't have to buy engines for a while because I got gobs of them down there. It's just that once in a while I get a hair, up my nose that I want to buy a couple of engines, and that's what I do. And then anybody I know that needs engines, I say, what do you need? And I'll just send you one, so I do that here and there.
PA 75, send it my way.
Yeah, that's something I'd really love to have too. Yeah. Or a road jet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to have a road jet or an OSVF.
I've got an XF in my son's T-Rex in the 75. And that's brand new. He hasn't even flown it yet. In fact, it's on my rack in his back bedroom. Just ready to go, just waiting for him to put the lines on it, and grab the handle.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm going to stay 40 size airplane for a while because I go any bigger, I don't have enough room in my basement.
You know, and they do. They take up so much room and so much room to haul them around. And they are fun to fly, though, those big airplanes.
I bet.
They are. Hey, Steve, I wanted to ask you about that top flight score you have against the wall. What are you going to do with that plane?
I was putting it together for Samantha, but it I don't know. I don't think she'll ever fly it now.
You know, I was watching eBay just a few days ago. They had one of them on for bid, and it stayed for $98 for like 4 days, and then yesterday it went for 148 something, and that's what the winning bid was. And that still isn't bad for that airplane. I haven't seen one of them come up on eBay for about 6 months.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty good flying airplane. I've got one. I've got it set up with a Fox 60.
I got that set up for an Evolution 60.
That'd be good, Steve.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah, that'd be good in that airplane.
I had two of them. I have one now, but it doesn't look like a score. It's been modified, but it's basically the guts are a score. And I have a double star 61 on mine.
Yeah, I had to take mine and build new flaps. My flaps were warped so bad, I took them off and threw them out, you know, used them for patterns and had to build new flaps.
Yeah.
But, you know, that Strega of yours, Charles, my son, he started flying that, and he says, "That's too big, Dad. I hate that thing," you know. And I said, "Well, give it a chance here. Let's get it trimmed out."
Yeah.
And that we've got an OS 60 in it, the SR. And the SR 60 and the OS puts out a gob of power.
Yeah.
So anyway, after we got it balanced and trimmed out and everything, he says, "Dad, I like flying that airplane more than I do anything else."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, I don't know what I'm missing, but it's my favorite flying plane that I have, you know.
Yeah. Once you get that baby trimmed in there to where it turns good. And yeah, it just does it.
Now mine, I've actually added some wood to the stabilizer, about 3/8 inch, and I've actually shaved the flaps down about a 1/2 inch.
See, what I wanted to do with his was put a Raby rudder on it. And he says, "I like flying it just the way it is." So I left it alone, but I'm going to build one of them because I've got the kit, and I'm going to put the turtle deck on it and everything like the real Strega, and I'll put a Raby rudder on it, and it'll be a 1/2 inch bigger diameter around the top and the back of it for a little more stability.
I have a Raby rudder, but my Raby rudder is kicking out a little bit too much, and it's just one of the things I want to fix. I'm just kind of dealing with it, but
yeah.
It just kicks out. And I think I just have the pivot point too low above the center line of the elevator.
Yeah.
And that's why it's kicking out so much. Because when I come out of my triangles or come out of squares, if I come out too hard on that last corner, the plane will yaw a little bit.
Is your push rod coming out of your elevator straight, or have you got a little bend in it?
No, it's straight.
Yeah. I was going to say, if you got a little bend in it, straighten it out. Sometimes your leverage on them is a little different. Like I say, if it's a little low, that might mess with you.
Mine's a little lower. The horn on the rudder is below the pivot point on the elevator.
Yeah. Well, another thing you can look at too, Charles, is measure your degrees on your offset in your engine. How's it flying just going around level?
It flies pretty good. It's nice. Today it was pulling kind of hard because I can't tell you how many times I've taken my motor in and out, and I can actually vary the angle of the motor. And if I'm not careful, I can put too much offset. And so today I think I had additional line pull because the offset was more significant than I usually have.
Yeah.
It.
Yeah,
But,
that makes a big difference.
My Sugar has some issues, but I mean, I still like the plane, but I'm going to fix the Raby rudder. I'm just going to put the pivot point on the elevator closer to the center of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
You
then,
want to come off as close to your hinge line as you
Right.
can.
Right.
Okay,
now,
the next thing you can do for your Strega is take your propeller, and the best way to do it with that big airplane is a 12-inch. Measure it from the tip blade on your inside wing leading edge, flip it around to the outside edge,
right,
and hold that to an 1/8 inch less.
right.
And when you take your engine in and out of your airplane and stuff, for like when you're re-shimming your tanks and stuff, follow that, measure that, and stay within that 1/8 inch right there. That way, all that stays the same.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And then what you do is you go to your rudder and do your adjustment on your rudder. That way, you've taken out one variable that can be different and you don't know about. If you stay with that 1/8 inch, that variable's gone because it's always the same.
Right.
And then give that a shot and see what you end up with.
Yeah, I haven't measured it, but that's a good idea. I know it's important to use the same blade that you measure, the inboard and outboard with. My kids are trying to get my attention. Hang on one second again. Yeah. My kids are.
Looking good, James.
That is this old beat up Cardinal.
It's looking good, man.
Robbing some parts off of it.
Put him in the air. Yeah, we got some good weather coming here next week. I'm hoping to get out 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, amen to that. That's what we have in our forecast. I can't wait to get out.
Yeah.
Getting out in the morning.
We're going to be in 70-degree weather finally, and it's like, wow, I'm going to be in heaven. Put some airplanes in the air.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
Hey.
Good. Hanging with Dad tonight, huh?
She brought me some coffee. That's what she was knocking my door for.
Oh, cool.
Well, that's nice.
Man,
coffee and some cream.
spoiling your dad. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you gonna tell these guys that you don't like flying patrol line? You have the nerve to say that now?
Mm-hmm.
I gave her a chance to fly, but the plane was too hard to fly. It was a little half A, and it was
Those are the hardest.
They
had the
are
wrong crop. And I'm telling her, that you just haven't had a good plane to try it, And
A junior size might be good.
Yeah, get her on a 15 there.
15 or a 19 size.
Or
Yep.
even 10, but a junior
even a
flight
10.
streak or something like that.
Yep.
What's her name, Charles?
Tatiana.
Tatiana. You got to take over for Samantha and be the only girl control line flyer.
There you
She'll
go.
be 18 this year, and she'll no longer be a junior flying. She's had a lot of fun beating the boys.
Yeah,
Was flying in the world championships this summer too.
Yeah.
Yeah, those two could team up and be awesome. You guys could rule the roost out there before long.
How old was Samantha when she started?
You lock the door, lock it for me.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll fly the score if I ever learn to fly.
Yeah.
I got some really good airplanes, but I don't want to crash them.
Oh, don't worry about crashing them, Steve. We can build new ones.
Yeah, just have Samantha trim it, and then it'll be ready to fly.
Just need some old junky planes.
Mm-hmm.
What it is that I can crash anything.
Probably another 15, 20 minutes. Man.
That's the problem, is that.
Yeah, we'll be off in about 10 minutes, Jim.
Yeah. So 10 minutes, Haley.
Well, I crashed one last summer. I was trying to see how close I could do my outside loops to the ground, and my third one, I'm about 2 inches. That was all it took, and took the rudder off.
Wow.
Did it keep flying?
Nope.
Uh,
I did put it in the girt. I had to put a new prop on it and glue the rudder on it, and I was off again.
See, the
And
rule
then
book
I
says,
decided not to be so brave.
we had just confirmed my P40 was in perfect trim last Thursday, I think. And I was flying it, and the handle came out of my hand again.
oh man.
Oh,
Paralyzed hands, and it's busted now.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Me too.
Hey, Rusty, was that Brodak Garf?
That was.
Oh, no.
I've
My
never
son's
flown it
got
in
one
trim until.
together.
I'd never flown it in trim until that day.
Oh, wow.
Oh man.
What'd you put in that for power?
LA 46.
Oh, man.
It's a big, heavy plane for me.
Yeah, it's a big
And
plane.
after this winter, I'm just too weak, to be flying a big, heavy plane. And I mean, compared to what Charles flies, is not big and heavy, but for me it is, and especially with my hands so crippled, I can't close them all the way. That's as tight as I can close it, and I couldn't feel it when it was slipping.
Oh man, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is. Dang.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
You need to build like a, you got the part on the inside, a part from the outside. You got to run your hand in, so that
Like a wrist brace?
Well, no. So it pinches like this, over you run in your hand like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you got something on the outside of it, because once it's closed, then it wouldn't allow unless you straighten your fingers straight out, it wouldn't allow it to pull out of there.
Yeah. And it was in a pull out where it came loose. I had flown it and done lazy eights and loops and inverted and all, and I decided I was going to go ahead and fly a Pampa 8. And the first time around, boom, it came out right there. Well, when it comes loose for me, it pulls on the upline. The lanyard pulls the upline, so it went up and then started doing this. And I was reaching for the handle, but the loops got bigger and bigger, and it plowed and it hit straight in.
Oh, no.
I didn't think anything was broken, but the prop and some monocoat at first and a ball link broke. But when I got it on the table yesterday and cleaned it up and got to looking at it, the wing lead edges crushed at the root. And so that's going to take a little glue and fiberglass or something.
Dang.
It's not, I guess it's not that bad, but it was just disappointing.
Yeah, it's always disappointing on something like that.
Yeah, and now I'm back to just a twister, and I'm going to take it to Huntersville, but I don't know if I'm going to fly up there or not. I hadn't flown a pattern since October. It's just been since 2 or 3 weeks ago when Steve and Samantha were down here that I flew the shoestring, and it's light, so I didn't have any problem with that. But that P40 was pulling so hard it was hurting my elbow tendon every time it went around. And the twisters are in between, and it shouldn't bother me like that. Although when this handle dropping began, that was the first one where I dropped the handle, and I say dropped, it just pulled out. But I need to be more conscious of my grip. But I like to fingertip it, and finesse it. I can finesse it better like that than just a dead white knuckle grip on the handle. And so I don't know. It's just something I'm going to have to deal with.
When I was into bodybuilding, I used to lift really a lot of weight, heavy weight, and I used to use these straps that would go around my wrists, and then the remainder of the strap would wrap around the bar, just so I have a good grip.
Yeah.
And maybe something like that might help you.
Maybe.
Like a mechanical connection to it.
I was thinking of making twin lanyards so that
I remember you said that.
Out of my hand, at least it pulls straight and level. But yeah, I'll look into that. I'm sure there's something out there that I could adapt pretty easily.
Well, go to the doctor and have him
There
put
you
a
go.
steel rod right through your knuckles and out
Yeah.
the other side with 2 clips. And you can just clip it right on your hand.
There you go.
Have you seen them? Have you seen them ring handles? It's a ring that goes
Yeah.
around the finger, and your lines are right off of that.
Yeah, they fly the combat with those.
Wow.
Well, Charles, I'll be building some new lines tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to go to 62.5s, and I'm going to go to 72.5s.
Wow.
Very
that way
good.
I'll have a 5 feet variation in both. So if it's windy, I can go short. If it's really nice, I'm going to go long. And the thing that's nice about long ones up here in this thin air at 4,500 feet is it'll give me a little more room to play with, which will be little insurance, you know.
I'm not
Right.
so sure that I would agree with that, but I haven't tried what you're talking about either. I've never flown with lines that long before. 62 is about as long. I think the Magnum on 65, but I think 62 is what I used to fly the Cardinal on, the old ARF Cardinal. And
Well, see, my 35 to 46 engine airplanes I fly on 60s or 57s.
yeah,
And my 60 size airplanes I'm flying on 67s, but I want to take them to the long ones out to 72, and that way, flying that big T-Rex when we get it out there with that 75. I think my son's going to feel a little better about that, having a little longer lines.
It definitely gives you more time doing the maneuvers. I
Yeah.
noticed that on my last setup. I did like it, but it was all dictated by the speed of my plane. And I use the line length as a gross adjustment. Then I use the prop pitch as a refinement adjustment.
Yeah, that big
My lap time.
75 would be flying with 14.4 propeller to start, and then depends on what the speed is. We might have to go 14.5, but I'm hoping we can stick with the 14 diameter.
do you tend to fly bigger loops with the longer lines?
No, not really. And like Charles says, a lot of it's dictated by the speed of your airplane. So you can fly too slow, and your airplane does a bigger loop because it's not grabbing the way it will if you go, say, for instance, one pitch difference on a propeller on a big airplane makes a lot of difference. That's why guys are going, 4s, 4.5s, and 5s is because that half a pitch difference makes quite a bit of difference. So if you need a little bit more speed, say for instance you're getting soft on top, like Charles saying, you get up there and your figure eights and stuff, and you're getting a little soft up there, grab yourself a little more pitch and a little more speed. It'll help carry you through the top of that. So anyway, that's where we're going to be going. That's what we
Hey, here
started.
comes Mike. I gotta unmute you, Mike.
Yeah, but you're flying bigger loops with longer lines. Think of a funnel, and then put a loop inside of that funnel. As further you get out in the funnel, you're flying bigger loops.
Right. And I mean, it's still at 45 degrees, but it's a bigger loop.
Yeah.
So it gives you more time, and
it gives you more time.
But my problem is I fly big. That's been something that I have to work on. Is my maneuvers are all too big. I'm sure if I ever get to the Nats, I really got to work on that. Even the state, I got to work on that. I'm just fly big. The one thing that they say is that I fly really smooth also. So my maneuvers, look nice, but they're a little bit above 45 degrees.
What you got going on, Mike?
Oh, not much, man. Spent the day at the RC field. Taking in broke in 2 Tom Dixon LA 46s for new stunt planes. And then I ran 5 LA 25s that I set up for speed limit motors. So I was out there about 7 hours today running engines.
Oh, very good.
flew a little bit of speed limit combat stuff. Just flying my plane, not flying matches. So, but yeah, that's what I did. Broke in motors and flew a little speed limit. Sam and I are going to our regular field tomorrow. We got 8 combat planes loaded up in the truck, and we're gonna go tear a bunch of shit up tomorrow. I hope.
You ever
That
see
sounds
Eddie?
good.
You ever see Eddie? Has he made it out to the field yet this year?
This will be the first time anybody's flying up at our place. And the guy that actually owns the property is not even going to be there. And one of the other guys is having back surgery, and another guy's working. So I think it's just going to be me and Sam, and I'll bring the Stooge so that we can fly 2 up combat matches. And we'll also try out this Nobler that I just assembled for him. The Huntersville Club gave Sam a Nobler at the 35th anniversary. Two
Nice.
years, yes. And I've been looking at it on the shelf, and I finally put it together last week and put a Thunder Tiger 36 in it. So we're gonna probably test that out tomorrow and bring his Barnes too. He's gonna bang out probably a couple flights on the beginning pattern, but mainly we're flying combat. We're gonna have beautiful weather tomorrow for the first time since last fall.
Wow.
75, sunny, 5
Nice.
5 mile an hour wind. So we're just gonna tear a bunch of shit up, I hope.
I think maybe I'll know here tomorrow. But it's supposed to be in the 60s, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I still got snow in the backyard.
Yeah, that sucks. This is the first decent weather we had, so we're definitely gonna take advantage of it. We're gonna be there all day long. I'm gonna try to shoot some in the circle video of us flying matches. I'm gonna see if I can hold my phone in my right hand and take some video of me and Sam flying combat, and then I'll string together some clips and put them up.
Cool.
Yeah.
You know, Mike, I was thinking about you today, Mike.
Did you get an engine from me?
No, but I was thinking about how when you said you do the reverse wing over, when you get up above, how you can go and look at destination, plane. And I was thinking about that. I'm thinking I might try to incorporate that.
Don't take stunt advice from me, man.
But I think that'd be a good idea. You really can feel it. You can look and just, I don't know. I'm thinking that it sounds like it might have merit.
Yeah, don't worry about what that airplane's doing across the top of your head.
Yeah, I might ask Howard Rush if he ever does that, because he's an ex-combat guy too.
That's a combat move that I use. I'll pull a wing over, and then I won't even look at the other side. I'll be watching the other guy to see where he's going, and then I just kind of know when to pull out by feel. I use it to try to suck somebody in so I can get back behind them and get a cut. I make no recommendations on stunt flying, so come
on, man.
I don't know. You know what? If I do it and I like it, I'll give you all the credit, Mike.
Okay, that sounds good.
Well, you got to be ahead of the airplane. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
You got to be ahead of the airplane.
The reason I asked you if you bought an engine, somebody named Charles bought an engine from me.
Oh, it wasn't me. It was some other brother.
Okay. I think I sold 20 engines and a bunch of other shit on eBay here in the last week.
Wow.
Yeah, it was all old Foxes. It was all Fox 35s and a bunch of ragged out, clapped out shit and some Nelson parts. Pretty much, I think there was maybe only two or three engines in there that I said that were decent, good runners. All the rest were suckers, and I paid $620 on all that shit.
Wow, it's not bad.
Guys,
yeah, right on.
Guys were paying $25, $30 for clapped out Fox 35s with missing parts, and I tell them, there's no compression in them. It's a parts motor only, and they were still bidding that stuff up. Because I put starting bids of like $10 on each of those motors. And they all went. I was really blown away that people wanted all that junk.
Well, the thing is, they want it because Fox is no longer.
Yeah.
And I called Mocha or whatever they call it yesterday, and I was talking to them about getting some Fox parts, and they have some listed, but he says, we got boxes of stuff here. We just haven't got through it and got it all listed yet. So they're not even ramping up. They're no hurry to get anything going as far as Fox manufacturing parts yet.
Well,
so
I'm proud to say that I now only own 2 Fox engines, and they're both combat specials, and they're the only ones I'll keep. There's not a Fox 35 or a Fox 19 anywhere in the frickin' shop, and you can have them. I'm done with them.
I got a bunch of Foxes. I got them all over the place.
No, I'm finished. I'm finished. I'm tired of having to mix up special fuel for them. And
I was just showing these guys this earlier. This is a Fox 60 muffler. This is cherry.
That is.
And I got a whole bunch of Fox 60s. That's one of the most underrated engines on the planet for a U-control airplane.
Hey, Wally.
Yeah.
I got one of them too.
Looky there.
Right on. Right on.
I've only got one Fox 35, but I use just regular fuel in it. 1022.
You gotta have castor oil in them, at least half, 50% castor oil.
Now here's a question for all y'all fuel gurus. Say if I wanted to fly a Fox McCoy or whatever, one of the motor engines that takes castor. If I got a brand new gallon of Power Master 1022 and I top it off with castor, I hear, it'll run fine, because you're adding more castor into the fuel.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if it would be wise, safe, or, go about it another way.
I just put Fox on 1022.
My castor or synthetic that I add to my fuel. And there's I have a spreadsheet, it's an Excel spreadsheet. And, I put in the existing percentages, and then I put in the desired, and then it tells me how much to add.
There you go.
That's how I do it. I don't fool around. For last week, I fooled around and messed up my fuel, but that's the only time I ever messed up.
I think as a rule of thumb, it's 1.3 ounces of oil raises oil content 1%.
Yep, that's right.
1.3 ounces. So if you add, 5 ounces to a jug of RC fuel, that'll get you a little over 20%. Now, it depends on which fuel it is, because Morgan and Omega, I think they measure their ingredients by weight. Not by volume.
Exactly.
So you do that, and it's only 16 or 18% oil anyway. But when you do it by weight, I think that brings it down to 14 or 15%. And the same thing on the nitro. They measure their nitro by weight. So 10% is really like 8% nitro.
Right.
The guy that I learned from, he told me to buy, if I was going to use RC fuel to mix for control line, to buy 15% nitro and then add the oil to bring the oil percentage up to 20. And then you're still over 10, like 12.
Yeah.
It's more economical that way, as opposed to adding nitro. Nitro is so expensive.
Well, James, if you're running those old bushing engines, if you can get to 20% and half of that, 10% anyway, is your castor oil, you should be fine. But you need to run at least 10% castor.
Well, I mean, like 1022 has 11% castor, 11% synthetic.
Right.
You're fine. Yeah.
Just as is. Like if I wanted to run a Fox or a McCoy or torpedo, that engine, that fuel the way it is out the can is fine.
I would.
Yeah. I would run it with just like that. But I like running all castor, even in my bearing engines.
Yeah. I run 29% all castor in my Foxes and McCoys.
That's the way to go, for sure. Or at least.
Yeah, I like running all castor in my
29.
Well, I'm running all castor, period, anyway.
You should be running 29% oil in those old steel pistons.
Yeah, especially McCoys will go away fast.
I think I read where Randy Smith said, just don't run all synth in it if it's an older engine, because the synth will actually take the good castor that's in there, the varnish.
That's right. Yeah, it'll take the varnish out.
It'll take it out. But if you got a new, you can do half castor, half synth, but still at 29%, or run all castor 29%.
Yeah, 'cause I can't remember where I seen that on Stunthangar. Somebody said like you take like a brand new gallon can of Power Master 1022, top it off with caster, just fill the rest of the gap that's in there with caster, shake it up, and you're good to go.
Yeah, you'll be good.
Yeah, they say that, but synthetic will take out all the old varnish and stuff out of these old Fox engines and McCoys and stuff like that. And
they like castor oil, no doubt
Oh,
about it.
If it's an older engine, keep running all caster. But if you got a brand new one that you're just starting to run, you can do the half caster, half synth.
Yeah, and it'll build up a beneficial. It'll build up a beneficial varnish too, and then it'll stay, but it won't get too varnished.
Randy's got a whole blurb there on Stunthangar about fuel and oil and all that. That's a really good read. I think it's a sticky too at the top of the page, because I go back to that from time to time and reread it, especially when I'm making fuel too. I just got 3 gallons of nitro, 8 gallons of methanol, and I got a gallon of Klotz KL100 that's super technical, and a jug of caster. Because it doesn't look, SIG's not going to have fuel till June, it looks like. So Tom Dixon won't be bringing any to Huntersville to sell. He called me to let me know because he can't get it from SIG's.
My buddy Mike Lunder is bringing a bunch of Power Master up there, I think.
I wish I could get some Power Master, you know.
I think there's
going out of business again.
Huh?
No, they just couldn't get the ingredients to have it made. Is what they told Tom Dixon. They couldn't get their hands on the raw ingredients to make it. Now, when I bought this nitro, I got it at a speed shop here in Nashville. I was buying it online from Torco, but they raised their price from $50 a gallon to $80 a gallon on eBay with free shipping. And then I looked around a speed shop here. I found the same Torco at a speed shop for $48 a gallon.
Wow.
So I went in there and bought 3. And when I was there, the woman told me that in February there was an explosion at a nitromethane plant in China, and all nitro comes from China. That's what I've been getting from
that's what I heard.
Guys and everybody else. Well, their freaking plant blew up in February. She said to expect to see shortages of nitromethane and the price going through the roof.
Wow.
When you headed to Michigan, Mike?
We will be there. We'll be getting in Friday the 18th, and then the contest at Rouge is Saturday and Sunday, the 19th and 20th.
Of May?
Of May, correct.
I'm trying to think where Klotz is at. But you might be able to hit Klotz on your way up and get nitro and stuff right from them.
Oh, I'm set, man. Dude, I got 3 gallons of nitro. If I'm making 10%, that's going to make me 30 gallons.
Yeah, okay.
You know, I mean, and even if I'm making, well, some of it will be for the Pulse Jet. I'll be making fuel for the Pulse Jet for this summer.
Yeah, see, I let everybody know because I went to Toledo. And I picked up nitro for Dick, but I got it for $30 a gallon.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, from Klotz.
Oh wow, that is real good.
You know, how can you tell if your nitro's gone bad? I mean, I have some old nitro in a gallon container. I just don't know if it's good or not.
Is it metal or in plastic?
It's in a metal can.
Yeah, it ain't gone bad. If it's still in there, it's good. You can get light to it in plastic ones, and it'll go dark on you and stuff. But I even ran that, and I really didn't see a difference in performance. You know, there might be a little bit, you know, if you're in competition or whatever, but I used it all up. I'm like, screw it, I ain't throwing away 2 gallons of nitro.
No, I wouldn't either.
Are you running 10% or 15?
Just 10.
Yeah.
There you go, Jamie. That looks pretty good.
Yeah, I think I'm liking that rudder. The way
that's good.
Yeah.
That's that new Tower 40 I got.
I like the shape of the canopy too. Man. Canopy looks good too.
Yeah, that's going to work good.
Yeah, nice long flight with that tank.
Yeah, that's the one reason I always run 10% is just because of tank size. end up running more nitro. You need more fuel, and then your tank's too small.
Yeah.
RC is a little different. I mean, you know, when we ran RC, we could put. It didn't really matter. You know, we could throw in a bigger tank in there and stuff, and have plenty of, you know, time to fly a pattern and stuff like that. But
Minnesota Mike says he bought 2 gallons of nitro in California. It was $25.
that's a good price.
That's
Wow.
a steal. That's a steal.
Get all you can then, huh?
Yeah, I should have bought a drum from Torco a couple of years ago. They were selling it for $20 if you bought a drum of it, but it's like, what the hell am I going to do with 50 gallons of nitro? You know, that's 500 gallons of fuel.
Yeah.
Make a lot of money at Brodex and Nets.
Well, I hit
Yeah.
the panic button when I found out that SIG didn't have any fuel, because I was going to get some from Tom in Huntersville, and then also the Indiana club, Mike Stinson, they do a club order, and last year I got SIG 10%, 20% oil for $10.50 a gallon, because they bought.
Gallon.
Yeah, they
I
bought.
paid $15 for a quart.
No, they got to buy. I think they got to buy 120 gallons to get it at that price. And there's no hazmat on it. It just comes on a pallet, UPS. But yeah, I mean, I bought 12 gallons of fuel, and it came out to $10.50 a gallon last year. The problem is that everybody in the club overbought last year, and they didn't burn it all up, so they weren't going to do another SIG order this spring, because everybody had fuel left except me. I burned through everything we had, but turns out they wouldn't have been able to get it anyway.
Yeah.
They won't be shipping fuel till June. And
Well,
then Randy Rich was going to hook me up with some fuel. At Toledo, he was supposed to drive through Nashville on his way home. He was going to bring me some fuel and just drop it off here at the house on his way back to Texas, but he got diverted to another part of the state, so he wasn't able to meet up with me, unfortunately.
Mike Spindler's going to be bringing fuel to Huntersville.
you know, I didn't think none about it, Mike, but I could have picked up all the fuel right there at Toledo for you and brought it to you once you come up to Michigan.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could have got the Paul Smith or Ron Colombo, the Detroit guys. They all went to Toledo too. I thought about that too, but I got enough to get me through the first 2 contests, and then I'll make it if I have to. I've got all the ingredients. So, and I mean, shit, using the same oil that SIG uses, it'll be the same damn stuff.
They used to just use clots.
Yeah.
Same
Is that
thing
what
with
makes it pink? Is that oil pink? Is that why their fuel is pink?
Yeah.
Yeah, the oil's red. It's super technically, it's a synthetic, and it actually has 20% castor in it already. It's 80% synth and 20% castor. Here, I'll show you if I can figure out where the fuck I put it. Oops, sorry, language. Oh, what did I do with that oil? Oh, here it is.
Check it out. Some Omega that I used in 2008 whenever I was flying RC. Still have little less than half a gallon.
There it is right there.
Yeah.
And this was, I think, $43 for a gallon. Got it from a motorcycle dealer off of eBay. He was the cheapest price with free shipping, $43. So, and then Torco, at least they started. My last bottle was clear of the nitro. They at least started putting them in opaque bottles. You can't see through them now.
Oh yeah, so it won't.
Yeah.
The sunlight don't.
Light degrades it, I hear.
Yeah, because I've still got. This is what they used to ship it in.
Oh, okay.
This one's 2 years old. But I made.
It still hasn't went dark on you, so it's okay.
No, I mean it's in a cabinet and it's out of the sunlight. I made jet fuel with it last year and it ran just fine. So I don't imagine it's gone bad since last fall.
Yeah, you can put castor oil in that, but I wouldn't run it in a Fox. I'd use it in your tower or whatever. Jamie.
Oh yeah, this man, I've been like I said, I've been having this 10 years. And when I was flying RC, I had this 6-foot Telemaster with an OS 20 FP, and I didn't know nothing about different fuel and caster percentages and stuff like that. I just went, oh, RC fuel, okay, let me get that.
Omega makes they make a control line fuel that's pretty damn good.
And this is all it says, I think Omega 10%. So I mean, it's from what I can tell, it's left on that label.
But that's the other thing. If you got a hobby shop that orders Morgan fuel, if they do a fuel order, you can have them order the Omega control line, and that's 22% by volume and not by weight and stuff.
Well, that's good.
And we were using that.
That stuff would be better for the older engines. Is that what you're saying?
That's basically like SIG or Power Master, whatever. They use 20%, but Omega control line is made for control line engines.
Yeah, you can get VP fuel that's 5, 10, 15% with your 20% caster.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I use.
What you got in that? It's 1022?
Yeah.
So I think you can get that with just Castrol too.
Yeah.
The one hobby shop
they make 529. I have a gallon of 529 from VP.
Yeah, we can get VP here at the hobby shop, but they get $32 a gallon, and I refuse to pay that.
Holy
shit. Man, that's
I can't even buy it in Tennessee. I can't buy VP anywhere in Tennessee.
Was that Hobby People? No, Hobby
Town.
Hobby Town. All of them carry VP.
The only Hobby Town we had closed 6 months ago.
Oh.
Yeah, like our Hobby Town carries a VP or, Power Master, whatever you want to call it. But it's only car fuel and heli. That's it.
Ours doesn't carry control line either.
I got to drive an hour to the hobby shop that's not far from the field that we fly at that actually carries Power Master 1022. But he also stocks Brodak kits and the dope and, everything you need for control line he got in his store.
Glad somebody does.
Yeah, no kidding.
He's in our club. So. But I'll be damned, he likes to, he don't like to order the Power Master because of the cost of it. But he likes, I think, some other stuff he likes to get, and it's just, don't ask me the name because I don't know what it's called. All I know is just it ain't that great.
Well, one thing is, if you know anybody going to Brodak, have him get you fuel there and bring it back. He sells it for a good price because he gives 10% discount to anybody that flies there and stuff like that. So, and that's S&W, and S&W is good fuel.
Yeah, like that 1022 at the Hobby Town in Baton Rouge was Hobby Town USA. It's not the same Hobby Town like a franchise. So I think $20 a gallon roughly.
Oh, that's cheap.
That's what I used to pay for VP. It's been 22 or 25 last couple of times I bought it though.
But from what I understand though, he cuts the price down for us for people that buy it. He spends more on it. He just don't mark it up. So I guess I'm going to guess we're probably getting at cost, or I don't know. Or he gives.
When I was there with that town north of Huntersville, it was 32. I'm like, holy shit!
That's crazy.
I bought some gas today. I bought some 5% Cool Power, all synthetic.
Yeah.
With tax and everything out the door was $16.99.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope 6 stays in business. They didn't even go to Toledo this year. That's the first time I think they've ever missed Toledo.
Wow.
I think Towers about ran them out of business.
I was going to that when it was at the old sports rink. Remember that?
Yeah.
Before they moved it to the new Riverfront place, it was in where the Storm hockey team plays. Back 70s and 80s.
Yeah, that building's tore down. We went by there last year, and it's nothing but a field now.
Yeah, I used to love going to Toledo. That was great.
Yeah, they had the different parts to where you had the the outside ring where you walked around, and that was everybody who had their little tables and stuff. Then they had, the main floor, and then you had the back part that were like Gator RC and Inya was at, and for MRC and stuff, or it was cheaper for them to be back there in that part of it. But yeah, that was the good old days. But I have a feeling that and I wondered about that with Tower going out of business. And when they owed $80 million and only had $4 or $5 million in assets, they owe a lot of people a lot of money.
Well, that's all been settled, man. They've been bought by Horizon, and they're going to merge them.
Yeah, but they didn't buy off all the debt.
Yeah, but they're still going to be in business. I mean,
Tower's going to be in, or they didn't buy. Well, they didn't buy all of Great Plains. They bought Great Plains, but didn't buy Tower and didn't buy this and that. But they still go into bankruptcy. They still owe all these companies. SIG had Phoenix models, and if you look online, they're all back ordered. And same thing with SIG airplanes; they're all back ordered. They didn't get paid. Tower ordered all that stuff and then never paid them for the product.
Well, that was through a Chapter 13, wasn't it? A reorganization to where the judge will pay off the employees and all that kind of stuff first, and what's last is like that's all rolled off. It's like you're screwed.
Yeah, they said that. I was talking to some guys there at Toledo and shit, and they said they think like Fataba is going to be okay because they do other stuff besides making radios. That's just a small part of their business.
Yeah.
But OS, they didn't get the OS franchise, so I don't know who's going to do OS anymore. When
RC Japan, and Dick turned me on to RC Japan, and I've made 2 orders from them already. They've got OS parts for half of what you can buy them for on eBay or from Tower.
Yep, I know it.
I just today I bought 2 brand new 46 LA cases, cranks, bushings, and that's it. Because I got 2 of the Brian Gardner piston and liner sets, and they come with heads, and I already had back plates. So I'm gonna build 2 brand new LA 46s with the Brian Gardner guts in them.
Wow.
Hey, is he re-milling the heads, or is he using a stock head?
No, they're brand new. They're completely different. They're brand. Yeah, I want it. What did I? Let me think here. The cases, I paid $18 a piece for the cases, and I think they're $45 on Tower.
Wow.
The crankshafts, I think I give $11 a piece for the cranks, and I know those are $20 or $25 on Tower. So all in all, I spent $90 to get what I need to build 2 more stunt motors. Of course, the Brian Gardner sets were $120 a piece, I think, but it was a piston, a liner, a connecting rod, and a new head and some shims. So I'm going to put those together and probably get a PA needle and a Venturi from Randy Smith for them.
Where's this place that you was ordering out of? Japan?
It's called RC Japan. You gotta make an account with them, and then once you're accepted, it's kind of screwy how the ordering goes, because you fill up your cart and you send in your order, and then they'll tell you the shipping later. They'll send you an email back within 24 hours to tell you what the shipping is, and then you go ahead and go back to your account and go to pay. And everything's in yen. So you can do it with PayPal, and then they just do a PayPal conversion. So mine was like 9,000 yen or something like that, 98. But
that's too much money.
PayPal automatically does it. It came out to be $92 with shipping. And here's the thing: the shipping was like $15. It's not crazy, like $50 since it's coming from Japan.
When
My
I was
first
in,
order,
Yeah, and it probably shipped the next day.
when I was in
shipping on
Japan,
the
it was
first
like
order was like $11, and then this last order it was like 15 or 16 bucks.
Huh.
So,
Wow.
but it'll be a month before I get the part.
oh yeah, because it's got to go through customs and all that. But
Right.
that ain't no biggie.
So
But
if you're not
when I
in a
was in
hurry,
Japan, it was like 239 yen to $1.
yeah, I don't know what it is now.
I don't know what it
There's-
is today.
They're glow plugs, man. The OS A3 glow plugs.
Yep.
They're about $3.75.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
No.
Wow.
You know, what do you
That's
pay
the
for
only
there? $7?
That's the only one I run is the A3.
Yeah, I'm telling you, their shit is half as much as what it costs if you buy it through Tower or you buy it off that guy on eBay.
When I ordered mine from RC Japan, I had it in like 4 days.
Did you?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Usually when I order from India, I have it in 3 days. It's like my brother's saying, we ordered stuff from India and stuff from Tower, and the stuff from India got here before the Tower stuff did.
Yeah, I can't say enough about RC Japan. I mean, I don't think if you're in a super big hurry for something, but you know, if you want to save some money and you can wait for it.
That's right. I'm always, anytime I buy anyway, I'm thinking way ahead. So,
Yeah.
So what engines do they cover, Mike, besides OS?
There
I think
might
that's
be
it.
some Fuji parts in there, but I think it's mainly OS.
Oh,
They have a. I'm there now. It says they have Sato.
Do they have Sato? Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't.
have they got India?
They got
I just see YS engines, Satos. That's what I see.
Okay, that's good enough. I just wondered.
Yeah, get your little currency converter out too on Google, and get that going on the side so you can, you know, you'll be able to see right away what the cost savings is.
yeah.
Them cases were under $20 a piece, man, and I was like, hell yeah, I'll wait a month to get them versus paying double.
Yeah.
You know, through Tower or eBay. So Rusty, what's your flight status going to be in 2 weeks?
I'm going to take the Twister up there with me, and maybe if I can get a practice flight up on the grass field on Saturday, and if I can fly a pattern, then maybe I'll fly Sunday. And I might or might not. Just depends on how well I'm walking around. I actually do pretty good out on the grass now. So I have not flown a pattern. I hadn't done anything overhead yet. So I don't know how well I'll do, but I'll give it a try if I can.
Yeah, me neither. I haven't touched a stunt plane since last fall.
Yeah, me either.
And
I mean,
I will tomorrow.
I've flown some circles, and out of 2 flights I've made, one of them was a crash. I crashed my P40 when the handle came out of my crippled hand.
I read that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's busted worse than I thought it was. So I'll just bring the Twister. But anyway, I'll be there, and I'll do what I can. I'll have fun one way or another.
Right on.
Listen, I went ahead and extended the show when Mike came on, since we had a new visitor, but I'm going to close the YouTube show. I'll leave the Hangout running if y'all want to continue to hang out and talk.
Yeah, I'm going to hit the crib, man. We're going to.
Yeah, I think I'm ready to call it.
Yeah, I'm calling it a night too.
All right. Well, let's just call it until Monday, but thanks for
Hey,
coming,
we'll
Mike.
see ya.
Hold on.
See y'all, man.
Okay, we're holding.
Are you and Samantha going to make Detroit on the 18th, 19th?
I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
She's getting ready to graduate,
Okay.
and I'm not sure what she's going to need to finish up, because I think her last day is the 17th, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. Well, do me a favor. Talk to
David Fitzgerald is coming in to Chicago. We want to take her new plane there and trim it.
Okay. if you talk to Dick, let him know we're flying combat down there.
Yeah, I already told him.
Tell him to drag his ass over there.
All right.
Tell him to bring his speed limit planes. Tell him to come fly speed limit with us on Saturday.
Yeah, we'll get him to go out there.
Yeah, tell him. Sammy will school him, man. Sammy will give him some lessons in combat.
Hey, Steve, you guys gonna fly when you go to Chicago? Is that field in Aurora?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. What you guys will be there with Chris?
Yeah, on the 21st and 22nd
of May.
Yeah.
That's a Monday, Tuesday, right?
Yes, like over Mother's Day weekend. So that's why I don't know what all Samantha has to do, but I know we got to be home on Thursdays, so she can graduate.
Mm-hmm.
It's like tomorrow we're gonna fly, but now we got to go to Ferris State, and we got to go through a bunch of stuff there to get her ready. Then we got to be back in June. So,
Senator Trades.
I'm out, guys. I'll see you next time.
All right. See you later, Mike.
See you, Mark.
Okay.
20th and 21st, that's a Sunday and a Monday.
Oh, well, it's supposed to be Monday and a Tuesday. Then I'm wrong on my dates.
So 21st and 22nd.
Yeah.
Okay, people. Thanks.
Yeah.
And all y'all on YouTube, thanks a lot. Appreciate y'all coming. And we'll be back on Monday as usual. So until then, fair winds, tight lines, and see you later.
Bye.
See you guys.
Good night.